Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The City of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, it's Big O. Protect your home the way we do with Sloman's Home Security, folks. And if you want some great news, how about this? A free doorbell camera. That's right. The first 40 Big O listeners who dial 1-800-ALARM-ME will get this limited time offer of a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your smartphone with installation of your Sloman's Shield. And that's not all, folks. Sloman's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 Big O listeners to call 1-800-ALARM-ME, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman's Shield. Keep your family safe like we do here in the Alzigari family. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME.
For over 25 years, South Floridians have counted on Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises for their roofing needs. In South Florida, we battle the sweltering heat, rain, winds, and all kinds of tropical storms. That's why when it comes to protecting your family, home, or business, call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com. 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs. All work fully guaranteed with the customer's complete satisfaction. A+ rated member of the Better Business Bureau. Licensed and insured. There's no buts about it. When your roof needs repair or replacement, go to TommyBButtsJrEnterprises.com. A certified widening contractor.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. You're tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, we go. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727, or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by HialeahParkCasino.com. Enjoy simulcast racing, dining, a magnificent poker room, and a casino with the most popular machines on the market. OKCoin.com. Download the app on iOS, Google Play, or Windows. OKCoin.com with over 50 different coins and incredible staking rewards. Pallet Rack City. There's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, zero transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right, there we go. There we go. Good morning, boys and girls. Let me see. Is it this way? Which way do I go to get centered? This way? Okay. There we go. Okay. A little bit more? Okay. A little bit more. There we go. Okay, now let me center the rest of my stuff here. Okay. Good morning, one and all. Hope you all are doing well here on the wait a minute. You made me go the wrong way. I ended up more. So I need to go. No, don't move. Don't move. Don't worry about it. Don't move the camera. I'll move. See? There we go. Okay, see, now we're more centered. Okay? Now we're more centered. Don't you love live radio? I mean, it's a beautiful thing. Some people tell me, "Well, your podcast." I go, "Well, it's podcasted. We're a live show on YouTube, okay? We do it live. I'm not the guy that hides behind the scenes and dresses it up for you and all that. No. I like it live. I like it raw, baby. You go out there, you're going to make mistakes. You want people to see that you're a human being just like they are, and you're going to make all kinds of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we are out here at Hialeah Park. We'll be out here all day today, by the way. We're going to have 2 shows today. Yeah, 2 shows today because we'll do our regular show today, 10 to 1, and then we're going to be back in the afternoon at 5 o'clock for the weigh-in here for the boxing matches on Friday. A bunch of you have already won tickets. All the tickets are at will call. You all know, those of you that won, we sent you back a text and told you that you won. If you didn't win, I'm sorry. Not everybody can win, but I appreciate all of you that showed some interest. And by the way, those of you that won tickets, I want to see you tomorrow here and come on by and say hi to me and Sean while we're out there. We were looking at the ring a little while ago. And we're out here right now at the Champions Sports Bar, the Champions Simulcast Center. And Champions, you can obviously wager on any track across the country, all of that. It's a really cool place to hang out and relax. And just plunge your guts out, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. If I knew more about horse racing, I would actually wager a little bit more. But because I don't, it's just one of those things. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to wager on something you have no idea. Although, I haven't gone with my wife in a couple years because of the pandemic and all that stuff that's gone on. But we normally would go to Gulfstream at least twice a year, and we would go have a nice little lunch, and then sit there and watch a couple of races because we like watching horse racing. And she loves horses, so do I. Horses and dogs. Both my wife and I are major lovers of dogs and horses, and so we love watching horse racing. But like, we know nothing about it, right? And the only time when I bet, it's she picks the horse she likes, not because of the odds or anything. Like, oh no, that one's really nice, that one's pretty, that whatever. And so, okay, that's the way you like, honey. All right, there you go. We bet and have some fun, and that's about it. That's my knowledge for horse racing right there. Ah, Boss B, thank you. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the love on the super chat. By the way, if you don't follow us on Twitter, you should, at Big O Show, because sometimes a lot of stuff that goes on there, I probably do it first there, then I do it here on the show at times. And we passed on the new schedule yesterday. Somebody mentioned it, right? They wanted an insider schedule. We gave it to you, so we posted it. And next week, the Edge energy drink, you're gonna get the edge on the Miami Dolphins coverage, which you already do here, but we're gonna give you an extra edge with Marcel and Louis Jacques. He's going to join us twice a week. So this is the new Miami Dolphin insider schedule starting next Monday. Alan Poupart will be at 11:30. Joe Shad will be at 12:30. And Marcel Louis Jacques from ESPN will be at 1 o'clock with the Edge Energy Drink Finsider report. On Tuesday, Cameron Wolf will be at 10:30, and Omar Kelly will be at 12:30. On Wednesday, Joe Shad will be at 11:30. On Thursday, Alan Poupart will be at 11:30. Marcel Louis Jacques at 12:30. On Friday, Omar Kelly at 11:30 and Cameron Wolf at 12:30. So you will have insiders every single day on the program, and most days you will have at least two insiders on the Miami Dolphins. So as Dolphin news develops every single day, we will have insiders every single day talking about it. And wait till you see what we're planning with the insiders next. There's another show. There's another Dolphin show coming. Once a month, it's going to be a monster show that you're going to want to be a part of. We're going to have some killer giveaways. We're going to have a Kane show, a weekly Kane show also that we're adding. We're going to have 3 hosts on that Kane show. So don't want to divulge at the moment. Manny Navarro obviously is one of them, but we're waiting for everything to get finalized. So we continue to add more and more programming, more insiders, so that way you guys are going to get all the news. Let's see. A message from Ben, Steelers, NFL, Steeler Nation. Thank you. Here we go. Love and honor. So is that it? I guess he's talking. He's hanging it up. Huh? All right. So Big Ben is out of here. Good. There you go. All right. I retire from football. A truly grateful man. Ben Roethlisberger officially hangs him up after 18 years as a Steeler. So there you go. He gone. Couldn't go much faster. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out there, Ben. Bob Manx, thank you for a little love on the super chat. What's the latest on the next Dolphins coach? Well, I mean, good morning, Big O. Did you get VIP tickets to Primus? No, I don't think I got any VIPs. You don't even oh, wait a minute. You mean like in the pit? Yeah, I think we're in the pit. Like we're up front. Yes. Yes, that if that's what you're talking about. Not meet and greet. I'm not doing the meet and greet. I'm not doing that stuff where you stand next to somebody next to a plexiglass. No, I'm not doing that stuff. So no meet and greets, but I know that we got our tickets up front. It's funny because we see Primus and the next morning we fly out to Vegas to go see Biffy Clyro. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, baby. See a little Primus, and then you take off the next morning to Vegas to go see Biffy Clyro. And I may see Biffy Clyro a couple times. The wife doesn't know that yet, but I may stay out in the West Coast for a couple days and see them in Los Angeles or San Diego or something like that. I haven't told my buddy that either. So I don't know if Greep's listening, but Greep, I may want to extend that stay out there out west. See, because the beauty is I could take my laptop and my mic, and I can still do the show every morning, really early in the morning, with Sean, and get the job done still, and enjoy myself. So I may do that. Any chance we get the big news today? Seems like Dable is the guy. By the way, we have been telling you for 2 weeks now that Brian Dable is the number one target. It's the guy they desperately want. Have we not been telling you that from the get-go? Some guy on Twitter goes, "Oh, give me a break. Everybody's been talking Dable." I go, yeah, they talk about Dable. They like Dable, all that. No. But nobody said what I said, that this is their number one target. This is the guy they want badly. Okay? And it might be happening. I mean, I tell you, if Flores goes to the Giants, I'm going to laugh my ass off. Brian Dable is being linked to the Dolphins for their vacant head coaching position, according to a source. He is very high on QB Tua Tagovailoa, and this is a gentleman that covers the Tampa Bay Bucks. How's that? And he covers the Patriots too? Okay. So there you go. I guess he's a Brady guy, right? I guess he's a Brady type guy that like what they did with Ethan Skolnick, that he was covering LeBron here, and then they shipped him to Cleveland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just find it funny because yesterday...
It's great for Ethan in one way, and then the other way was, well, you're stuck in Cleveland. But yeah.
It's funny, though, because yesterday the whole talk was centered around Dable, at least on my Twitter feed, was that Dable didn't see a high enough ceiling in Tua. That was what was going around yesterday. And now today, again, here we go.
Yeah.
And I think it has to do with Denver.
The problem with all those opinions, it's that you're formulating an opinion based on the way you view it. It's not that Dable said that. Oh, well, no, Dable might think this. It's like Joe Shad. I love Joe Shad. Read his prospects and all that. Well, the Dolphins should be looking at Pitts. Well, why, Joe? Because you don't like Tua? It's just that. I love that. You know what I mean? Like Joe Shad just writes it like, well, the Dolphins should be looking at Kyle Pitts. Well, why? They have a quarterback, dude. Why? Because you don't believe in Tua? Okay, well then maybe Joe Shad will be proven right, like half of you out there that don't believe in Tua. A year or two from now, you can then tell us, we told you so, right? And then a year or two from now, We will tell you, we told you so if he plays well, right? I get it, but it's like, and I busted him with me on that already. It's like, the Dolphins should do this. Well, why should they? Because you say so? Maybe they feel they have the guy. I feel they have the quarterback, but they don't have the quarterback if you don't put the line, if you don't put the coaching, if you don't get a running game. I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah, there you go. Last time I checked, by the way, Josh Allen, as good as he is, he's home because his defense couldn't stop anybody. So you can have the quarterback because we had the gunslinger too. Didn't win anything. You need a team. Get a team.
And also, I think the one thing everybody's like, oh, Dayball's not going to play Josh Allen twice a year.
Oh.
But who knows Josh Allen better than Brian Daboll?
Nobody.
I mean, so at the same time, it's like, okay, I know how to play him. I have how to play against him. And
yeah,
just some of the stuff, again, like you said, form your own opinion because everything else going around is
right. It's a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of crap. Bunch of crap. Everybody was throwing all this stuff around about Brian Flores and everything, and oh my God, and this, and I told you what the only person in the world that said, well, he's going to get fired. Oh, come on. How do you fire the guy? Yeah. This is just based on your opinion. This is how I'm going to approach this story on radio today. Based on my opinion, this is how I'm going to write the story, not based on any kind of facts, right? Because if it was based on facts, you would say, well, the Dolphins are committed to Tua. Okay. Well, this is how they, if they're going to help Tua succeed, they need to draft linemen. That's what you write, not go get Kyle Pitts. The team's telling you they're committed to Tua, and you got my man Shad writing about another quarterback. I read his players to target in the Senior Bowl and all that, and I'm going, why do you have a quarterback on the list, dude? They're not going to get a quarterback. No matter what you think, they're not getting a quarterback. It's just hilarious. That gunslinger made the Hall of Fame. I know that, dude. Yeah. So, what does that have to do with a Super Bowl? Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. Yeah, Big O hates Dan Marino. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that'll come out now. Exactly. It's like, hey, my brother, I get it. You got a sore ass right now because I said it. I mean, I love Marino, bro, but we didn't help him. We didn't give him a running game. We didn't give him the right side of the line. We didn't give him a defense. No Super Bowl. So you can gunsling all you want. You got to hold that trophy. So build the team. That's why Shula didn't hold the trophy in the latter part of his career because he never built the team. In the early part of his career, he built the team. That's what you need. We're so enamored with one position that we don't realize that if you don't give that one position what that one position needs, you won't win anything. Right? I mean, after Aaron Rodgers' long-ass career, he's got one championship with all the talent in the world that he's had. Why? Because you didn't give him enough teams. You think Brady carried you by himself? No, he needed a team. That's why he's out this year. His team wasn't good enough to make stops, wasn't good enough to block, wasn't good enough to get it done. Bottom line. We get in love with one position. I get it, dude. We haven't solved that position since Marino. But you still need to build a team, not just replace Marino. So it's about, okay, Tua's the guy. So change your agenda, media. Okay? Tua's the guy, whether you like it or not. You can make a editorial note in your story. While I'm not a believer in Tua, the Dolphins are. If they're going to have him succeed, this is what they need to do. These are the players they need to target in the Senior Bowl. These are the players they need to target in free agency. That's how you do it. You don't say, oh, no, they need to target Kenny Pickett. Well, they're not targeting Kenny Pickett, so why are you writing that? See what I'm saying? And that's the same thing that goes on radio and on television. They are using their point of view for what the Dolphins need to do when that's not what's being done at the moment. So they're sticking with the quarterback. They drafted him. I mean, you saw the Giants owner yesterday. He comes out and basically says, oh, we've done everything to screw up, Josh. So they're keeping their guy because they believe, even though I'm not a believer, I wasn't a believer from that guy from the get-go, but then again, listen, just like Josh Allen, when I saw this guy at the Senior Bowl, it was like, and I saw him at Duke, and I was, as a Canes fan, not that impressed. Maybe he does turn into something. I didn't see this from Josh Allen coming because he wasn't this at Wyoming, and at the Senior Bowl, he was spraying it all over the place, and then his rookie year, he was terrible. And then all of a sudden, the light went on. And that guy played like a star last week. Okay? But you didn't give him the team. So he's outside looking in. And if Buffalo doesn't solve that problem of the team, Josh Allen will put up a lot of points and not get it done. Jim Kelly ended up in the Hall of Fame too. Put up a lot of points. His kicker didn't hit the kick. Out of the 4 Super Bowls, they had a legitimate shot to win only one of them. And Scott Norwide missed. Got to have a team, man. Got to have the guy that makes the kick. Got to have the guy that can stop the quarterback. Got to have the quarterback that can score. Got to have the receiver that can catch. Got to have the tackle that can block. I mean, that's the game. Got to have a coach that knows how to design it all and create an advantage for your team. If you don't have that, you're not going to get it done. That's why there have been teams in the past that should have won a championship and didn't win a championship. And then there are teams in the past that have wasted talent and they didn't, and that talent like Dan Marino, Dan Fouts, players like that did not end up enjoying a championship when they were championship caliber type players. Jim Kelly, Dan Marino, and Dan Fouts, 3 championship-like quarterbacks. None of them won it. Why? They didn't have the team. Leon Fresco, thank you, sir. He says, can Heat win title with Butler taking the last shot, or does it have to be Hero? I think this is the only team weakness. Leon, what the hell are you talking about? Thank you for the super chat, and I love you, brother. But what would make you think that you're going to have Jimmy Butler taking the last shot anyways? If it's from the perimeter, there's like 8 players I want taking it before Jimmy Butler. Now, is it a layup? Is it in the paint? Then there's nobody I want over Jimmy Butler or Bam taking that shot. Capiche? I want Hero taking the shot over Butler. I want Duncan taking the shot over Butler. I want Strus taking the shot over Butler. I want Caleb Martin taking the shot over Butler. I want Gabe Vincent taking the shot over Butler. I want PJ Tucker taking the shot from the corner over Butler. Who? Yurtseven. I'll take Yurtseven over Butler. I'm with you there. I don't want Jimmy Butler shooting the shot at the end of the game from 22 feet, dude. That's not his game. The hell are you worried about? There's 8 other guys we can pass to that can make that shot. I want Kyle Guy taking that shot and not Jimmy Butler. You worry about Jimmy Butler setting the pick to free that guy up. You worry about Jimmy Butler penetrating and dishing it out to one of those guys to create that shot. That's what you got to worry about, Leon Fresco. You worry about Jimmy Butler creating the turnover that then makes the fast break so one of those guys can hit the shot. You worry about Jimmy Butler blocking a shot to then start a fast break to hit that shot. That's what you worry about, my brother. Jimmy Butler grabbing the offensive rebound. I'm sorry, the defensive rebound. Starting the break. Getting somebody primed for that shot. That's what you worry about, Leon. In fact, Leon, I want you taking the shot over Jimmy Butler at the end of the game also. I want Spo, who played at Portland State, taking the shot over Jimmy Butler at the end of the game. In fact, pull Bob McAdoo out from somewhere in the organization to take that shot over Jimmy Butler at the end of the game. Ohio John says Warren Moon and Phillip Rivers as well. I'll go with Warren Moon. Phillip Rivers, man, I got to tell you, I know, Ohio John, I know he put up a lot of numbers, but I know he's a hell of a quarterback, but there were a lot of, like, bad interceptions in his career, too. You know? God, Warren Moon for sure. Warren Moon was a freaking stud and a half. Like, you tell me Phillip Rivers and Warren Moon, and, like, there's, like nothing. Like, it's not even close in my book. Marino Rivers, not even close. Kelly Rivers, not even close. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I know Rivers is really, really good and possibly a Hall of Famer, okay? But there's something about his game that still kind of turned me off. And while he was really good, I never put him in that elite area. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know what it is, dude. I don't know what it is, but it's just, he just doesn't convince me as much as those other guys. Really, really good. Don't get me wrong, but just a hair under those kind of cats. That's the way I look at them. That's just me. Jim McEwen says, love what happened to Tampa with injuries on the O-line. Rams fumbled them back into the game, but you don't beat great teams when you have a bad O-line. Amen to that, Jim. Yes, sir.
Now, I wanted to ask you a question because I go through the tweets, and I'm looking at one that Tom Pelissero sent this morning, okay?
Uh-huh.
It was about the Broncos, and then they're finalizing for Nathaniel Hackett. The reason they were doing that was because the Jaguars in the middle of the night were calling them back.
Yes.
Do you see that happening with the Dolphins at all? I know we said probably after the Senior Bowl, but if guys start getting hired or anything
Giants,
like that?
I guess the only other team, because I guess they like Flo also. So I guess the Giants would be the only other team that might go after him badly that, See, the thing, what I love is that people assume like, well, Daboll's deciding between those two, or maybe Daboll's working on maybe he's working on his coaching staff right now. Maybe he already
seen that a couple times.
Right, maybe he already took the job and he's kind of working on the staff, and maybe they're working on the staff with him right now. Like, there's no hurry. They already have the guy in play. So it's like one of those things. We don't know. I love how we assume this, that, and we just don't know what the hell's going on behind the scenes. But it does seem like Daboll might be that guy. And I told you this for the last 2 weeks, that they wanted Daboll badly. Okay? While I'm telling you I want Jim Caldwell, they want Daboll badly. And I said that over and over and over again. So I'm not surprised if it does end up being Daboll, because that's the guy they targeted from the get-go.
Do you think they rush to get him, though? Do they
I don't know.
sign him just to make sure the Giants don't get him? I mean,
there must be a vision. There must be something. There must be other pieces already in place. Remember, there's a connection between the two. It's not like Greer has never talked to Daboll. It's not like they don't know each other. They know each other very well. So, phone calls are made, discussions are had, and what are you going to do? All these kind of things happen behind the scenes. Big O, my Avs been on fire, 17 straight at home. If they were only the Panthers. But congratulations to your Avs. Big O, is it possible to get Mario Cristobal on your show? We can try. We can try. I doubt it. We're going to do it now. Yeah, you're going to have to get Mario when things kind of settle down a little bit right now, because he's going crazy right now, doing all the things he's got to do, finishing up his staff and recruiting and promotions and everything that he's doing. I mean, that man doesn't stop. He's amazing. But we will try. We will definitely try. Moon threw a pretty spiral. Moon threw everything pretty, bro. He threw tight ropes. He threw spirals. He was just an amazing quarterback. He was awesome. He was awesome in his 40s in Seattle. It's like he goes up to Seattle and he's like 41 years old and he's balling out. I mean, Warren Moon was just a badass in every way possible, man. Bonds should be in the Hall. Yeah, but he cheated. Bonds is an idiot. KJ. That's all. Bonds, the ignorance of Barry Bonds is amazing because he never needed any PEDs. I watched Barry Bonds. Skinny-ass Barry Bonds in the Pittsburgh Pirates was a Hall of Famer. 5-tool guy. He wasn't a slugger. So he had the juice in order to slug. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. Barry wasn't happy being a great 5-tool player going into the Hall of Fame. No, he needed to be also the greatest home run hitter on top of being a great all-around player. So that's the disgusting part about Barry Bonds, is that he was already a Hall of Famer, never needed to cheat. He would have been just fine, skinny-ass Barry Bonds. We would have admired the hell out of him the same way. But the greed took over, right? And he became the Gordon Gekko of baseball, and he had to shoot it up, and he had to go hit 60 and 70 home runs a year. A little something that maybe some of you didn't know about Barry. When he was in his run, like I'm talking about juicing and everything, his pitching machine would pitch cork balls. Cork balls are the size of ping pong balls. So you want to know, when he got to the plate and he saw a baseball, it looked like a grapefruit. So the PEDs, because for those of you that don't know, when you juice like that, your reflexes are better, you're stronger, you recover faster. Even your vision can improve at times because your everything, your reaction, your reflexes, your muscles, everything is at a heightened level. That's why Ben Johnson was able to win the gold medal, because it improves you in you're already an elite athlete. Once you start taking that, oh my God, you know what I mean? It's one of those type of deals. And so his pitching machine was pitching him cork balls. Those things are half the size of baseballs. That's what he was hitting with. So that's why he was also on a roll. It's crazy. I've never seen anybody with an eye at the plate like Barry Bonds had. Ever. I've never seen anybody more dominant at the plate ever in baseball than Barry Bonds. He just crowded that plate, and he knew exactly when it was a strike and exactly when it was a ball, and he never swung at anything bad. To get Barry Bonds to swing at something bad in those days was like, I don't know, painting a Picasso. You did that, and you must have been, I don't know, Greg Maddux or something. You completely fooled him. You weren't fooling that guy. So that's the problem with the roids, and that's the problem. That's why I don't feel sorry for any of these losers that don't get in. I don't. Never will. Yes.
Shad's at it again.
What do you put?
Just noticed Mitch Trubisky is a free agent. I can guess the Bills' backup quarterback might enjoy relocating to South Florida and working with Brian Daboll if that were to play out with the Dolphins.
God, he is so anti-Tua. It's not even funny, dude. Have you weighed in on the Neil Young versus Joe Rogan on Spotify? Yeah, I did, and I said Neil Young's music will soon be off of Spotify. Oh, it is? Oh, I haven't even kept up with it. They kicked it out? I mean, Joe Rogan's the number one guy in the country, in the world. Nobody gets more downloads than him. You might disagree with some of his things and obviously his takes on the virus or whatever, and or what is it, indomethacin or whatever the hell he took or whatever. But by the way, Spotify takes down Neil Young's music after his exactly. Get the hell out of here. So somebody tell Neil Young that he's like 177 years old. And that the only people listening to him are people my age or older. Spotify is not worried about that. They're living in the now. Okay? Neil Young's audience is dying. Joe Rogan's audience is exploded. And whether you agree or disagree, that's fine. By the way, he actually made a couple of decent points on it. While I may disagree at times on his take, maybe on the whole pandemic or whatever, but the medicine that he used that cured him, whether you agree with it or not, he now says it's not available anywhere. So that's kind of not right either. You know what I mean? It is your right to whatever you want to treat yourself with. You can go ahead and do it. That's your right. You know what I mean? But so we can agree and disagree on certain things. Now, obviously, if you're spewing stuff that's just completely like John Stockton, 150 athletes have died on the court, on the ice, on the pitch from the vaccine. They've dropped dead right on there, which is like a complete lie. Those are the kind of things that you just can't tolerate. Idiots like that. Yeah. John Stockton should not only be banned from Gonzaga games, he should never be allowed on the campus ever again for being a stupid, ignorant fool. You know what I'm saying? But what are you going to do? Hunter Butler says, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. He says, how hard would it be to pursue Bridgewater as a backup? I don't think it would be that hard because I think Teddy's value has gone down to the point where he's kind of a backup now. He's always been a backup. The fact that even people started him was just ridiculous. He's a nice kid, super smart, all of that, but he's never had the ability to succeed at this level, unfortunately. He would be a really good backup to have. I like that. Cerebral guy, can help Tua at times if he sees something Tua doesn't. I like that. I like that move a lot. I like that a lot. If they don't have to spend a lot of money on him, I think that would be an exceptional backup. It's a great call. Local kid gets to come back, and then he'll be in the role that he belongs in. That is an excellent, excellent call there, Hunter Butler. I like that one. Brooklyn Rob coming in. He says, Big O, did you get a new camera? You look a lot more handsome today. I'm assuming it's the camera or the Nature B. Well, the Nature B I've been taking for 20 years, so it's not going to help me with looks. I'm not going to tell you to get Nature B. I'll tell you to get Nature B to improve, your immune system, especially with all the stinking viruses around. By the way, you use my code Big O, you get free shipping. Okay? So make sure you get a little power of pollen today. Energy, immune system, and considering the virus and all that crap, that's why I load up on my Nature B every single. I've been taking it for 20 years. People like we have new listeners now, and like, oh, there's a new sponsor. How can you say 20 years? I go, dude, have you been following my career? No. Okay, well then they've been with me for 20 years. Okay, it hasn't been consecutive on the 20 years because we've had some issues here the last couple of years with some of the craziness I had to deal with at times. What, they stole my money again? Anyway, so Nature B would be 27 amino acids and vitamins and minerals, and I'm telling you, if you want to boost your immune system, you want energy, Nature B is for me. and use the code Big O so you can get free shipping. Okay? So there you go. But it's not Nature B helping the looks because nothing can help these looks, Brooklyn Rob. Yes. What's that? Of course, kids can take Nature B. Yeah, dude, of course. It's great for kids. Yeah. It's great for everybody. It's all natural from Mother Earth, from clean green New Zealand, not made in some stinking lab or anything like that. Yes, man. My daughter takes Nature B. My wife takes Nature B. My daughter takes Nature B. Everybody takes Nature B in my family. My daughter's been taking Nature B since she was a child. So there you go. Yes. Everybody can take Nature B. It's worth it. Use my code Big O so you don't pay for shipping. Okay. Big O, are you surprised we didn't see crypto shoot up with the Fed's announcement yesterday? Jason, dude, I'm pissed it didn't go down. I got to tell you, I thought it would go down to like 33, maybe 30, so I can grab a little more Bitcoin. I did grab some more Polkadot yesterday at $17. I loaded up on some Polkadot, dude, because you stake it at 12, almost 13% at on OKCoin. So yeah, I got some Polkadot, and what else? I was able to get more VeChain because VeChain was at 4 to 5 cents, so definitely had to get more of that. I got a little Crow. I did get a little Bitcoin at 30. It was like 36, I think. I'm a little pissed that although listen, I bought some at 40 and 42, right? So buying at 36 was great, which was really good. But I was hoping that it would go down even lower. So I was hoping for a little bit of a drop. The problem is the Fed said they're not raising anything till March probably. And I love what the Feds did for our OKCoin crypto corner here for the moment. I love what they said because the way he was addressing it is they've got the shipping issues right now with supplies. They've got that problem going on. We've got COVID affecting people. They don't want to go crazy raising rates because they know how much it's going to affect everything else in the economy. So they're trying to see if over the next month and a half or two, as this is what I'm feeling, that as hopefully this wave of COVID starts to die down, because it's not nearly as bad as the other ones. Again, still Russian roulette. I have a friend with a 1-year-old daughter in the hospital right now. So this thing is real, okay? Luckily, it's not breathing issues, thank the Lord. But you just don't know with DNA how this thing is going to affect some people or others. Some people it may not affect, other people it may cripple them. You just don't know. But this wave is not as bad as others. The other waves were killing people left and right. This one is not, the death rate is not nearly as bad. So hopefully we're getting through it. And hopefully we can get to the point where people are getting back to work, businesses become stronger, and maybe in March they want to raise the rates. Maybe they don't have to raise it as much. They're going to have to do something because they've printed too much money. They've given too much money out. A lot of people took advantage, and I don't know how, but whatever, not working or. So I think they want to kind of weigh things. So I'm wondering if the market kind of stayed, stagnant and stayed sideways because investors still don't know what's coming. So they're a little nervous. You know what I'm saying? I still got myself Bitcoin and Polkadot and all that because it's still at an amazing price. And I know where this is going in a couple of years anyways. I just have to be patient. You know what I mean? When mass adoption takes over, forget about it. I know I'm going to be laughing my ass off, like a lot of us that stay strong throughout this whole thing. So yes, I was a little shocked, but I was expecting it to drop. Okay? Or start to climb like you. But I thought it would drop first. I really thought it would go down to 33 to 30 or something like that, and it didn't, man. Very disappointed with that. But I still got some at 36 because you still have to take advantage. Just in case. Just in case. Okay? Let me give you the latest here in our OKCoin crypto corner right now. Bitcoin is at 36,971. It's trading sideways right around 37. So, that's why I got in some yesterday at 36 because I said, forget it. Let me 36 is still one hell of a deal. Let me take advantage of it right now, and we'll be laughing our asses off later on. Big O, it's Brian Dable. No excuses for Tua in 2022. Nothing has been an excuse. That's the problem also with the way you're thinking. Everybody that says, well, no, the Dolphins need to think about a quarterback. Well, why? Why? Because you say so? Because you gave up on the quarterback? So you're there and you're like, well, okay, so it's Brian Dable, no excuses for Tua. So having no O-line is an excuse, not a fact. Having no running game is an excuse, not a fact. Having no O-line coach, an excuse or a fact? Having no quarterbacks coach, excuse or fact? Having no offensive coordinators, since you had 3 of them fighting amongst each other, excuse or fact? I'm just wondering. Receivers constantly injured. Is that an excuse or is that a fact? Again, agendas, narratives. You've already painted a narrative that's inaccurate. You already have Tua making excuses, which it's not him making excuses. It's us pointing out the facts, but you call them excuses. Wow. So, Pat Mahomes didn't have an offensive line last year, so he couldn't win the Super Bowl. So that's just an excuse, not a fact. So Tom Brady also didn't have a great line, and his defense didn't make stops. So is that an excuse or is that a fact? He also had a crazy-ass receiver named Antonio Brown. Is that an excuse or a fact? Did Chris Godwin not blow out his knee? Is that an excuse or a fact? Not exactly sure. So I guess Tom Brady losing is just excuses. He just choked. It's his fault. Narratives. Let's build narratives like this guy here, just like Joe Shad. Let's build a narrative. And so let me go on my narrative because I'm now going to create the narrative as the fact, as the reality. There we go. Let's see. Gus says, Big O, Mitch Trubisky, a much more mobile QB as to his backup works. Plus, he's cheaper than Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, but he can't play. So, you know what I mean? I'd rather have Teddy Bridgewater, who's limited, but at least is a much better backup and can share knowledge and understands coverages and offenses and all of that. So I'd rather have a really intelligent backup that, okay, physically may not be able to do what he's telling you, but if you can do it, then he can help you. Teddy Bridgewater should end up becoming a coach. He knows how to communicate with people. He's a phenomenal leader, actually, believe it or not. Even with his limitations, players, his teammates love him. Teddy Bridgewater, man, that is, I would probably say, out of all the players that I've watched in the NFL in the last 50 years, that is the one guy that I wish the good Lord gave him the kind of talent that you need in order to be an absolute stud. Because he's got everything else. Really does. So I'm not a Trubisky guy. I just don't think Trubisky is the guy you want. And I still think Trubisky in his head is still looking to be number one. Whereas I think a Teddy Bridgewater will accept the role of being the backup quarterback and excel at it. Okay? Claude Puis says, Big O, seriously, what do you think Tua's ceiling is? Have you listened to the show, Claude? Because I think I've talked about it 100 times. It's all there, my brother. You can win a Super Bowl with him. Big O, are you a Tua fan? Okay, so we've got a bunch of people that are actually really new to the program. Thank you all for tuning in. Yes, I am a Tua fan. Yes, I believe you put the right team around him, like Tennessee, like New Orleans, like Minnesota, like the Rams. Build a team like those teams around Tua, and you will go incredibly far and maybe even win a title. Is that enough for you guys? Since you all are new, I appreciate all of you out there tuning in, but yes, I believe in the guy. What I don't believe in was the clown coaching staff that they had around him here. That's what I didn't believe in. King says, Joe with the Bengals got no O-line and is balling out. All we do is make excuses for Tua, but they do have a running back, don't they? Right? And they actually have 2 decent linemen on that team. I don't think we have one. I don't think we have a good lineman at all on our team. I think they have at least 2 on that one. It's not a good line, but they do have a running game, and they have better coaches. They have a much better running game, by the way. Let's see. Hockey is better than the Miami Dolphins. Yes, you are correct, sir. The hockey team is the best team in town. They deserve to have the arena packed. There shouldn't be a seat available. In fact, the Florida Panthers should have what the Milwaukee Bucks and the Toronto Raptors have outside of their arenas. You know that whole what's that thing called, not the tarmac, what the hell it's called? That whole deck that's outside of the Panthers arena? The hell's that thing called again? The plaza or whatever it is? That should be packed with fans that can't get into the arena, and the Panthers should be having the game outside on a couple of jumbotrons, and fans outside should be packing it, celebrating, going nuts. That's what the Panthers deserve. Not just a sold-out arena, but they need to create something outside also. That's what we should be doing. That's where we have failed the Panthers as a fan base. So, yeah, that's how I feel about the Panthers. That ownership, all they do is try to win, dude. All they do is spend money on the ice, off the ice. They're adding infrastructure over there in Fort Lauderdale by War Memorial. They care, man. They're giving back to the community. They have put together one hell of a product. We should sell out that arena. We have the best hockey team in the world in our backyard, and nobody knows about it. How effed up is that? Think about that. So they're not just better than the Dolphins, sir. They're the best team in town. And the Heat are pretty good. Okay, the Heat have a shot at the title this year, but the Panthers have a better shot at the title than the Heat. So you're not going to get any discussion with me or argument when it comes to the Florida Panthers. We need to do more as a town to support them, is what we should do. Because we got it loaded up with the Rats back in the mid-90s, and this team is 10 times better than that team. All right? And this team can score, brother. This is an entertaining team. This is an electrifying team. Love watching these Florida Panthers. By the way, they are taking on the Golden Knights tonight at FLA Live Arena. That should be sold out. Lord Waters, thank you for the love on the super chat. You keep saying Brady and Mahomes. At least they give you a chance with no lines, wide receivers. They don't have wide receivers. They don't have Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. They don't have receivers. They don't have a Mike Evans. They don't have tight ends. They don't have great coaching staffs. Don't leave that out. I mean, because, the Dolphins really had such a great coaching staff. Just phenomenal, dude.
I heard George Gotze got some calls on head coaching vacancies.
Yeah, that's right. Gotze's been interviewing all over the place.
He might be out Leftwich.
Yeah. And what's it called? Pepe Le Pew? Oh, dude. I think he's been interviewed for several head coaching jobs and general manager jobs. Yeah, at the high school level. Exactly. We left that part out. That caveat is important.
He's down there with Adam Gase.
Yeah, exactly. He's Adam Gase's O-line coach. I get the feeling that Uncle Joey 99 doesn't like some team called the Miami Dolphins. Oh, I don't know. Okay. Stop wasting your money on the sorry-ass Dolphins. Okay. All right. You heard it. Stop wasting your money. Manuel Malo says, Bears hiring Colts DC, Matt Eberflus per Schefter. Really? Whoa. Wow, so no Caldwell. Caldwell was supposed to go to the Bears. Ooh. Can I hold out hope for the Dolphins? Yes. So Eberflus is going to the Bears? Wow. So Matt Eberflus. All right. So Matt Eberflus to the Bears. Wow. So no Jim Caldwell. Okay. So you see how the reporting was that they had Caldwell going there? Did they really know? No. Did they have Hackett going to Denver? No.
Let me ask you.
Wasn't it Vance Joseph going to Denver? Or something like that?
I believe he was at Denver before.
Right. Oh, okay. So then who was it that was being rumored to Denver?
Dan Quinn, wasn't it?
It was Dan Quinn, right. Yeah.
Yep.
So 0 for 2 on the rumors for Chicago and Denver already.
There was talk of Caldwell getting a staff. So what team's that for?
So Samuel says Caldwell interviewing in Miami. God. I could be so lucky.
Did you hear about all the stuff going on in Jacksonville right now, too?
Yeah. Well, they wanted Hackett.
No, they wanted Hackett, but the Balky is the GM.
Trent Balky.
Did I say his name right?
Yeah, Trent Balky.
Apparently, he had Shad Khan bring in Bill O'Brien to interview. And then, Byron Leftwich is everybody's quote unquote, and this
Darling.
is all,
they say
all
he's going to Jacksonville, right?
Again, yes, reported. He wants Balky out, and he wants the Cardinals vice president of personnel brought in to replace Balky if he becomes the head coach.
You're talking about Bill O'Brien?
No.
Oh.
Byron Leftwich.
Oh, okay.
That's he doesn't want Balky in charge of the roster.
I wouldn't want Trent Balky in charge of my roster either. I didn't like what he did in San Francisco. I'm not a fan of what he's done so far in Jacksonville.
Yeah, so there's a lot of dominoes are falling, and there's going to be a lot of gameplay going on.
If I'm a Jags fan, I'm not a Trent Balky guy. Quite honest. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, what
I've seen enough of
besides
him.
the obvious of Trevor Lawrence with the first pick.
Yeah.
What else have they done?
Yeah. Oh, God. Samuel Loomis says Quinn staying in Dallas now per Tom Pelissero. Well, I don't really give a crap about Quinn, dude. I really don't. I didn't want Dan Quinn in any way, shape, or form to be the head coach of the Dolphins. I think you would have seen me throw up all over this floor right here if I heard the Dolphins were hiring Dan Quinn. So to me, that's celebration. Dan Quinn can be my defensive coordinator every day of the week and twice on Sundays. I don't want him anywhere near the head coaching spot. I don't want Vance Joseph anywhere near the head coaching spot. Seen it, done it, been there. I'm good. I want Jim Caldwell is who I want. And if you can't get Jim Caldwell and you got to give it to a first-timer, I can go with Dable. That's fine. But Caldwell's the guy that I want in a bad way, man. I just think that he's the perfect guy for the situation here in Miami. The decline of Highlight is sad. I know you once broadcasted from the courts many times. Do you feel its demise was due to the long strike in the 80s or other major sports popularity? Just a mix of everything. It's other sports. It's losing any interest in that sport because it was just one of those things that it just didn't. It's like horse racing, which I love horse racing, but it's just a dying sport. And so we only watch a Triple Crown and we hope that we get a Triple Crown. But the funny part is then people think, well, if we get a Triple Crown, that'll save racing. No, it's not going to save racing. And so they're just dying sports. Baseball's dying, Doug. So imagine Highlight. That's the problem. So if you got a major sport like baseball that is losing its luster, can you imagine Highlight? Highlight, boxing, horse racing, hell, tennis, I don't think is nearly as big as it used to be. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of sports that have kind of taken several steps back, while football just has grown into the end-all, be-all for us. And then basketball has clearly become the number 2 sport in this country. Soccer has actually made more inroads in this country than horse racing, highlight, tennis, all these sports that we just talked about. Boxing, UFC has passed boxing. Yeah, it's been ugly for a while. Big O, please explain your opinion on the difference between Tannehill and Tua, with the exception that Tanny is faster and has a stronger arm. Mind you, I can't stand Tanny. Lord, look, dude, this is an old subject. And really, do I have to explain what a real quarterback looks like and what one doesn't? I mean, one understands coverages, can read, and will not get flustered. The other one does. That's all you need to know. Because one's an athlete playing quarterback and the other one isn't. Samuel Loomis, a little love on the super chat. He says, come to Saratoga in the summer for the horse races. I would love to do that. What do you think, Sean? We fly up to Saratoga, go do a couple shows, talk to the people in Saratoga. Maybe they'll, I bet they might accommodate us. I mean, they need it, right? Any kind of media is good for them. But I would like to go to Saratoga. Yes, you can wear a toga at Saratoga. Hell yeah. Toga. All right, 1 hour down.
Real quick, go.
Yes.
Eberflus, just to let you know, he apparently had a lot of connections with Polian, Dungy, and Rod Marinelli. So he was on the radar the whole time. Just an under the radar guy.
Okay. All right. No, but I mean, supposedly it was going to be Jim Caldwell is what they were reporting. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they had it all the way, right? Quinn to Denver and Caldwell to Chicago. Yeah. Big O, who do you think our coach is going to be? Tank McBride, brother. I've been saying for 2 weeks now. They want Dable badly. That's the guy they want. Okay? I want Jim Caldwell, but who knows? All right, let's take a really quick break here. Give us 2 minutes. Hour number 2 from Hialeah Park is next.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them.
With Sloman's, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation.
Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer. When you're ready to purchase a new home loan or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family. The Big O Radio Show is looking for an experienced salesperson in the radio or TV business. The candidate must have at least 5 years of sales experience in the broadcast business over the last 10 years. Please email your phone number and resume to bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. That's bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Looking for an aggressive person who can help our platform expand into many avenues in our business. Reach out if you are the person that's able to make the difference. The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Caneswear. Go to Caneswear.com, where all orders over $99 get free shipping. Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com. Licensed roofing contractor. 100% financing is available. Go to Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, zero transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Hey, we are back. Hope you all are doing well on a beautiful Thursday. Thank you all for joining us. We're coming to you live from Hialeah Park. And, man, we got the weigh-ins today. The boxing matches will be tomorrow. Abraham Martinez, who's 9-0. Ariel De La Torre, who's 9-0. Eric Lanzas Jr., 9-0. Let's see. Derek Ufatis is making his pro debut. He's 18 years old. George Romero, we had him on the show. He's 21-0. Johnny Argalagos is 8-0. Luis Rodriguez, 7-0. Orestes Velasquez, 2-0. So a lot of young Cuban boxers and a couple of other. We got Venezuelan, we got Mexican, we got couple different nationalities in here. A Colombian too, I think, also. So we got a couple different boxing nationalities involved in all of this. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, you're gonna see at least one or two stars down the line out of this group. There's no doubt. I feel like a couple years from now, you're gonna see one of these or two of these names really rise, and you're gonna say, "Oh man, I got to see them, early in their careers here at Hialeah Park." So if you got a chance, you can also watch it on. If you're anywhere in the world, you don't have to be here. Okay, if you're here in South Florida, come on by and check out the fights tomorrow. The weigh-ins are free. They start at 5:00. Come on up to the second floor Champion Simulcast Center. We'll be here. So if you want to see the weigh-ins, if you've never been to a live weigh-in, that's actually a cool event. So you never know. They get face-to-face. There's a little jawing going back and forth. So the weigh-ins are free. You can come today to see the weigh-ins at 5:00 and come by and say hi to us. But tomorrow night, when they start the fights at 6:00, you can watch it on Fight TV all over the world. They've got like 14 million subscribers already as it is. And the card is super cheap. It's like $15 or something like that. And it's FITE.TV. Okay, not the regular fight. FITE.TV. So check that out if you want to watch the fight and get the pay-per-view for the match. Sources tell me Mark Anthony and Serena Williams are all in on Tua, and they are thrilled with the possibility of Dable coming to Miami. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. A little Serena, a little Mark Anthony. I like it. Ray Grullon, by the way, a little love on the Cash App. Thank you, sir. That is a great way to make a donation on Cash App and Venmo because we get the entire donation. See, on the Super Chat, YouTube takes 30%. So, you know what I'm saying? So, Cash App or Venmo, send it in, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. And Ray sends in the Cash App, and he wants a blind-ass fan for the peeps. That's what he says. So, Sean, you ask Sean, and he delivers. He always does on this program.
Blind-ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind-ass fan coming through.
Thank you. There we go. You got your blind-ass fan alert there. Appreciate you, as always. Let's see. Soccer is a dead sport. Yeah, no, I know. It's absolutely dead. I mean, it's the number one sport in the world. The MLS, I think, is outdrawing the NHL and the NBA per game. Yeah, no, it's absolutely dead. No, you're right, dude. I mean, soccer is just, they're only expanding. They're only adding more teams. They're up to like 30. No, you're right, bro. It's absolutely dead. Nobody's watching it. Nobody plays the video games either. I mean, there's just no interest in soccer whatsoever. You're right, bro. You are right. It's like yesterday, some guy sent me a text. He goes, it's the panic in people it's real. It really is real. So I'm gonna show you this. So yesterday, a listener sends me this. Here we go. Let me make sure I pull up the right text. And there's always this what would I call a lack of realism. People just aren't necessarily realistic, right? So one guy goes, "It's so Dolphins that we're one of the worst teams in the league, and we're going to be picking 30 to 32 in the first round. I guess that's where we'll pick up a good running back." So I go back to him and I said, "Yeah, I know, right? It's not like any good players are picked after 30. Holland 36, X-Men 38, Gesicki 42, Raekwon 56, Jarvis Landry 63. So I just, gave him a list there, and because as we've said on the show for well over a decade, almost 2 decades now, it's not where you pick, it's who you pick. It's always been that. Frankie Fresco says, what is your favorite flavor for the wings at Sports Grill? I'm a straight special grilled guy. That's it. Sean, go ahead. Yours is?
Special grilled barbecue garlic.
There you go. I just special grilled. Love it. Love it. I'm actually going to go, when I'm done here, I got to go to the Miami Lakes Sports Grill for a few minutes. Going to meet somebody there. So I'll be there at 2 o'clock, 2:30. So who knows? Might have myself some wings. Justin Floyd. Thank you, sir, for chiming in on the Super Chat. He says, Vance is a good choice. Had the third-ranked defense in Denver, hired Mike McCoy and Bill Musgrave on offense. You can try to win with Paxton Lynch, LOL. Let's see. Big O, I tell you, people love to regurgitate ignorance. No facts whatsoever. Soccer dead, laughing my ass off. I know. It's ignorance. It's like, it's the same thing. It's like, okay, I don't like soccer, so then that means everybody else doesn't like soccer. It's his narrative. Completely wrong, but it's his narrative. It's only growing and growing and growing and getting bigger every year. It's weird. Big O, I tell you, people love soccer is not as big here, but it's ridiculously popular around the world. Some of the highest paid athletes are soccer players. Hell, I'm not a soccer fan, and I even know that. It is pretty big here. You know that, right? Well, look, let's go. Let me just show you something, okay? Let's go with MLS attendance. And I'm going to go 2019, all right? Because pandemic and different cities, I can't, it affects everything. So you're not going to get actual numbers, okay? The Atlanta United average 52,510. Seattle Sounders average 40,247. FC Cincinnati 27,336. Portland Timbers 25,000. Toronto FC 25,000. Galaxy 23,000. Orlando City 22,000. LAFC 22,000. NYCFC 21,000. Minnesota 19, Vancouver 19, San Jose, Sporting KC, Real Salt Lake 18, DC United, New York Red Bulls, Philadelphia all 17, Revolution, Impact 16, Dynamo 15, Columbus Crew, FC Dallas, Rapids 14, and the Fire Struggle at 12. But overall, the average attendance to MLS games, 21,310. So if you're averaging 21,000 as a league, it's pretty damn good, dude. That's better than the NBA and better than the NHL. I'm just saying. And if you build bigger arenas, you're not going to get more attendance in the NHL. Capiche? So there's only one way the attendance is going for Major League Soccer. Would you like me to show you the Major League Soccer attendance in 2019? And see the difference in the attendance? Only one attendance is going up, up, and up. And that's Major League Soccer. And that's Major League Soccer. We all know that international soccer, whether it's the Premiership, the Italian League, the Spanish Premier, La Bundesliga, whatever, we know they're king. I mean, plenty of people all over this country follow it religiously. Okay? That's international soccer. We know that's the monster. But MLS soccer has actually grown immensely. Yes, sir.
We've been talking about head coaches all day.
Yes, sir.
Adam Schefter just came out with something, which is funny because, everybody thought that the Jaguars were interested in Nathaniel Hackett.
Right, and then Leftwich.
The plane was not there for Nathaniel Hackett. the private plane to Jacksonville brought Vic Fangio, who is now a candidate for the Jaguars head coaching job.
Wow. They're going to hire Vic Fangio?
He's now a candidate. It was not Hackett, who everybody thought was on the plane. It was Vic Fangio.
You notice how they get everything wrong? Everything they got wrong. What's going on in Chicago? Wrong. What's going on in Denver? Wrong. What's going on in Jacksonville? Wrong. That's why patience. Let's wait till it develops. Okay? The Marlins would kill for 21,000 in attendance. Yeah. They could get it. JP, Greater Good, they can get it if they actually, if they spend a little money. They got some young players, man. They got a nice little staff right now. I like the direction the Marlins are going in. If they spend a little money, the Marlins can make some noise, man. I think we would get behind them. I really do, but they've got to do their part to entertain and commit to winning. They do that, I think it'll be all right. Carlos says, I thought they hired Leftwich. No, that was the rumor was that they were, interested in Leftwich. That was the reports. And those reports were apparently dead wrong right now. Looks like it. What happened?
Fangio and Balky worked in the 49ers organization for 4 years together. So, again, you start piecing stuff together.
So Balky has to hire the guy who doesn't want to fire him.
Basically, so I think Balky wants to keep his job, so Leftwich is going to be probably left out.
Right. Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. Big O, the Bengals O-line is ranked around 20th in all different places in analytics. With the blind side well protected, Miami is dead last. Yeah, no, the guy on the left is actually good. Their struggles are on the right side. But yeah, you're right. They've got a couple of decent linemen. We don't have that here. But whatever. I mean, listen, man, people are going to make up whatever they want to make up. They're going to make it sound like the Bengals are worse than the Dolphins or just as bad. And no, they have a better receiving core. They have a way better running game. They have a couple of better linemen, and they got better coaching staff. So they have better things to assist. Their quarterback is special. Miami had no shot at him anyways. So that doesn't really matter. I get it when some of you are whiny little bitches about Justin Herbert because you passed up on Justin Herbert. Okay, so if you feel he's the guy, then I can understand that. But crying and whining about Joe Burrow, they never had a shot at Joe Burrow. So what the hell? Why even complain about that? Why even compare the situations? Why? Because you have an agenda. Did you do your research on Doug Peterson? Yeah, he lost his team. I'm not a Doug Peterson guy. Apparently, Rachel, a lot of other people have done the same homework because we're not hearing him being a part of anything. He is rumored nowhere. So apparently the reasons why I don't like Doug Peterson might be the same reasons why other people are saying, no thanks. Let's see. Miami is vacation city with millionaires who don't want to sit in the stands sweating. They prefer American sports. So they sit in the heat of football, but they won't sit in soccer. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Because last time I checked, it's the same sweat, right? Last time I checked, you sweat more at a NFL game than at a soccer game, right? Because last time I checked, you're an extra hour there. Right? It's at least a 3-hour game. I don't know if you guys know this, but in soccer, you're out in 2 hours. You're done. It's over. It's 2 45-minute halves and a 15-minute halftime. You're done. Not sure. But, again, narratives. My man thinks that they don't want to sweat for soccer, but we sweat profusely for 3.5 hours to 4 hours just for football. Oh, and let's not add the tailgating and everything else going on in the heat. But, let's leave the facts out. Huh?
They might not be in Florida, though. Maybe they don't sweat wherever they're at.
Well, maybe.
It's not 95 degrees.
No, I got you. Okay. All right. All right. Big O, are we sure that Brian Dable is the guy? MVP Matt, are you sure anybody's the guy? I love Jim Caldwell. Does that mean that he's going to be incredibly successful? No. I mean, he's been a really good coach already, so I'm going by the track record, but he might flop here. Brian Dable may flop and may win a title. I don't know, dude. You got to hire somebody.
I was going to say, if they listen to the podcast, they'll know that the Dolphins are not too good at the first-time coaching.
Yeah, no, the first-time coach thing, yeah, we suck at it, yeah. Yeah, we suck at it. We are bad at the first-time coach thing. With all the wrong reports, I have a feeling that it's going to be Harbaugh all along, just a hunch. That would be funny. I don't think it's going to be Harbaugh at all, but that would be funny. That would be freaking hilarious.
It'd be so great if they went WWE on it, right?
Right. Yeah.
Just pull the tape down and, there's Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
And Harbaugh's like, all the time.
Khakis, ready to go. Oh, God.
I would be here tomorrow in khakis if they hire Jim Harbaugh.
I think we'd have to I think we both have to come here in khakis.
Yes.
Just in honor of Harbaugh.
Khaki Nation.
Yeah. I'm gonna go right to if they hire Harbaugh, I'm going over to Target and buying me a pair of Dickies. Right? I mean, isn't that like the atypical khaki pants that you would buy, right? It's got to be Dickies, right? Nothing else, right? There's nothing else. You're not going to get a Wrangler or Levi. No. You're going to get Dickies. Chicago Bears hire Matt Eberflus. Yes, we talked about that, Ricardo. Thank you for chiming in, my brother. Jamie says, Big O, old milliners, as our friends put it, won't sweat or be cold. Those guys sit nice and cozy in their boxes. Well, yeah, that is true. That is very true. Big O, how would a 40 to 50-yard field goal shoot out as overtime? Huh? What does that mean? What kind of a question is that? I don't get that. Do you understand that question? Now, did you ask me that in between shots? Were you typing that while you're rolling or something? Did a seed get stuck inside, the keyboard or something? Big O, what's your base camp hotel in Vegas? Finn's fan asking about the draft. I cannot reveal that until everything is finalized. But today I'm actually having a meeting about that. So yes, we're getting closer to it. Okay, and I will announce it. Yes.
Things may be heating up in Jacksonville.
Uh-oh.
Mike Jurecki, who is the digital content for the Arizona Cardinals, is reporting hearing the Jaguars are close to hiring Adrian Wilson, which is the name of the guy.
Safety?
No, Adrian Wilson. I don't know if he was a safety. He's part of the front office. That's who Byron Leftwich once brought in as the GM. He's with the Cardinals right now, and Byron Leftwich is their head coach.
Okay. Adrian Wilson, I believe, was a former safety.
I don't know if it's the same one. I just know that is the name that was linked to being said. Byron Leftwich wants him brought in.
So Adrian Wilson works for the Cardinals?
Yes, he's in the Cardinals.
Okay. Let me see. Adrian Lamar Wilson is an American football executive and former safety who is the vice president of pro scouting for the Arizona Cardinals in the National Football League. Wilson played college football at NC State and was drafted by the Cards in the third round of the 01 draft. He's a Libra like me, born October 12th in High Point, North Carolina. All right. So there you go. I remember a good player, too. Good player, Adrian Wilson.
But does that mean that like Balky's gone? Or what is Balky's position there? Is he the GM or is he like a president of?
I thought he was a GM. I don't know. Now you might be right. Maybe he's president of football operations. I'm not exactly sure. But he is a nervous guy right now, is what he is. Although his salary's guaranteed. All these guys they make plenty of cash, dude. Plenty of cash. Big O Greer has had a position in the office for 22 years now, and his draft selections O-line has not been that great either. What's your opinion on actually spending our budget on the O-line? First of all, Bob, my opinion is, do you think that he's made all the picks in 22 years? Every time this comes up. Let me ask you something, Bob. Where'd you pick up that stupid-ass narrative? So do you think over the last 20 years, Chris Greer was telling Nick Saban what to pick? And he was telling Bill Parcells what to do? And he was telling Adam Gase what to do? Really? You think he was telling Mike Tannenbaum what to do? What? Why do people keep regurgitating the same stupid-ass line? Please explain that to me. Do any of you think for yourselves for once? You hear one person say it, because I know Bob did not come up with that by himself. He heard some other fool say it, and then he repeats it. It's baffling to me, dude. Like, you blame Chris Greer for the failures of 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Do you know how stupid that sounds? And you're not going to get any sympathy from me. And if you're sensitive and, oh my God, he's being so cruel to him. You know why? Because you know why people see this the people that are hardcore and watch the show all the time, every once in a while, some moron comes up with this. And every time I got to go off. Because it's really amazing how many of you don't think for yourselves. Just sit back a little bit and say, so when Saban was here, Chris was telling him what to do. Let me tell you a little story. Randy Mueller was his general manager. So Randy Mueller walks in one day, preparing for the draft, and says, all right, Nick, here's my reports on the players. And he goes, okay, it's great. Here's my reports. It's over. It didn't matter what he did. You were going to go by Saban's reports, not yours. It's just it's one of those things that I just don't understand some of you out there. When he's behind the scenes 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, he's just taking orders, dude. He's just filing his reports and walking away and going to go scout, and that's it. He's not telling anybody what to do. He can't. But somehow or another, some of you idiots out there think that he's been pulling the strings for the last 10 to 20 years. Think how stupid that sounds. Just think about it. If he's been here for 20 years, do you really think he was telling Parcells or Jeff Ireland what to do? Hey, Nick, you need to pick this guy. Come on, man. God. It's just really, it's baffling. I can't figure it out. Frankie Fresco, thank you for some love on the super chat. He says, Big O, if we look at all the QBs we have after Marino, I think Tua is the most talented. Beck, Fiedler, Harrington, Trent Green, Cleo Lemon. Bottom line is, if you don't complement your quarterback with what they need, they won't succeed. If it's Marino, if it's Tua, if it's Jim Kelly, if it's whatever, you got to surround them with exactly what they need. Nobody wins a Super Bowl and the team sucked and the quarterback just carried everybody. Now, guess what? In fact, I don't think that exists ever in the history of the NFL. I don't think that a crappy team won the Super Bowl because only the quarterback was good. Now, how many times can we talk about a team that carried the quarterback? Huh? How about that? How many times can we talk about the team that carried the quarterback? Several of those, I can think of them immediately. And by the way, we have one here in our own town. Bob Greasy passed the ball 6 times in a Super Bowl. 6 times. Peyton Manning couldn't throw for 10 yards in 2016. Trent Dilfer only had to make a couple of throws on that team. It's just, it's about the team, man. I'll give Brewski again the credit. He had the line of the weekend. Quarterbacks don't win championships, teams do. And he's 1,000% right. Scrooge says, hey, any of you believe Tua will ever be good enough to beat the QBs we saw last week and take 9 sacks and hold up without an interception? Our only chance with Tua was with Flo's D, and that D can't stop them. Well, that's what you think, my man. That's your opinion, not the facts. Oh, they probably got this from Ace per Head Studios. I don't know what that means either. Adolfo Foliaco says, not sure if it's reported here, but Dan Quinn is staying. Yes, staying with the Cowboys. Yes. Yeah. Checking out, Saban wanted Breeze, said they had a contract, but Dolphins upper Breeze poo-pooed it. I don't believe any of that, by the way. And Saban left it to the doctors. Saban could have overridden the doctors if he felt like it. You know what Saban is? Saban is a guy that is pointing fingers for his own failures. Okay? He failed. That's all. I love Don Shula. He failed Marino. Those are the facts. Didn't give Marino running game. Didn't give him the right side of the line. Didn't give him the defense. You got what you got. Bunch of stats, no championships. That's how it is, man. Doesn't matter who you are. So Saban made his own decisions, made his own bed. If he wanted Drew Brees that badly, he could have just said, "Give me Drew Brees," but he didn't, and he went with Culpepper. That's his. Send Poopar a link there. I thought I did. Anyway, so that's his legacy, and he's got to live with it. I don't believe in any of that with Nick Saban.
Okay. And, not sure if you heard yet, but Dan Quinn is staying with Dallas.
Okay, thanks. How about Ronald? Word on the street is I hear it will be Dable and will bring Ken Dorsey. Your thoughts? Word on the street, huh, Ronald? Word on the street. And by the way, first of all, word on the street is what? Like some friend of yours told you or you heard it on Facebook? Because think about this. First of all, the Ken Dorsey part makes no sense. So Ken Dorsey is going to take a lateral job. And he's going to come for the unknown in Miami and not take over for Dable and be the offensive coordinator in Buffalo. Really? 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 How about this? How about some of you out there just say, hey, I'm a Dolphins fan, and since I'm not logical and I'm a fanatic, I'm going to say Dable takes the job and Ken Dorsey will be stupid enough to follow him here instead of staying somewhere that's already established with an established quarterback and an established offense where he has a much better chance at the moment to get to a Super Bowl. But no, he's going to take a step back to then try to build a team. Really? 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 It's like, really, man, come on. Just a little logic. Can some of you just have a little logic? If Dable leaves, Dorsey has to stay there. That's the smartest thing he does, is he takes over for Dable and becomes the offensive coordinator. That's his shot to build his name up. If he comes here with Dable to be the offensive coordinator, nothing is guaranteed. But I get it. You're a Dolphins fan. You watch through aqua and orange colored glasses, so you have no objectivity whatsoever. And on top of all of that, you have no logic whatsoever. Gotcha. All right. Let's talk to Alan Poupart. Let's do that next.
Let's get ready to talk Dolphins football. It's the Sportsville Miami Dolphins Report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupart. With locations throughout South Florida, Sportsville is the home of the special grilled wings. Check out our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Alan Poupart.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is Alan Poupart. And you're going to be seeing more of Alan Poupart within next month. So we will see what we will see. How you doing, my man? You doing good?
I'm doing fantastic.
So it looks like the media can't nail one damn thing right so far. So they had Caldwell going to Chicago. That's not happening. They had who was the
Dan Quinn to Denver.
Dan Quinn to Denver. That's not happening now. The Jags, the Leftwich thing. I don't know. That may not be happening now. On top of all of that, Dable now looks like, well, at least that's what it looks like now. Maybe headed to Miami instead of the Giants. Your thoughts and what are you hearing?
Again, the media is getting all wrong. It's like sources, I'm told, I'm hearing, and you get 17 different versions in every possible scenario. And now, like, the hot topic of the day is Brian Dable is a favorite of the Dolphins. Well, guess what? The Giants also really, really like him. And it's very possible that Dable's going to be faced with the option of taking over as head coach of the Giants or taking over as head coach of the Dolphins. And I did a list of pros and cons, or the pros for Dable in each situation. I don't think it's a slam dunk. He takes the Dolphins job in the least. What I do think is a slam dunk, since when I was waiting to come on here, is that you're completely right. I hate to say you're completely right because it's going to give you a big ego or a big head or whatever. But yeah,
I already have that. I didn't need that.
Ken Dorsey would be crazy to leave that Buffalo situation. I mean, it's
just it's pathetic Dolphin fans that always do this crap. It's like you only think for yourselves and you like never really use any kind of logic. Oh yeah, he'll bring Ken Dorsey. What kind of a dumbass are you? Like, are you?
It's wishful thinking. It's wishful thinking.
No. I would like to put that person in that position and ask them. So you would be stupid enough to come to Miami? Really? You're going to leave the Buffalo situation where the quarterback's already proven, the offense is awesome, they got a hell of a defense. They're really close to being a Super Bowl contender. And
they are a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, they are. But I'm just saying, like, they're right there. Well, I mean, they have to do it all over again next year. But my point is, this is what Ken Dorsey has been working his way for right now, is to be put in this kind of a position. Why would you leave Buffalo? It's just ridiculous sometimes how fans think, man.
No, yeah. But here's my thing. I'll be honest with you. If you were asking me to guess, if the Giants make an offer to Brian Dable, I find it hard to believe. Let me put it this way. I'd be inclined to think he'd be more likely to take that job than he would the Miami job, in large part because of his working relationship with Joe Shane over the past 4 years. And in part also, first of all, he high school and college in New York, so it's more home than Miami is. And then you had the factor that you don't have to see Josh Allen twice a year. I think so. Those three reasons. I think if the Giants, so this notion that, well, the Dolphins really want him, so he's no longer a candidate for the Giants. No, I'm not buying that for a second. To To me, I got Dable pegged for the Giants unless Brian Flores, who's in their building today, completely blows them away. But of course, he's going to have to answer the question, especially with the Giants press conference yesterday, where they also emphasized collaboration and all that, even though they didn't use necessarily those words. Well, I'm sure Joe Shane and John Mara, the owner, are going to ask, well, Brian, can you tell us all about those reports that you weren't getting along with anybody over there? So if I were to guess, to me, my inclination is still that Brian Dable is going to wind up with the Giants and not with the Dolphins.
Well, as I've told you from the get-go, they want Dable badly here. That's their guy from the get-go. That's the number one guy that they've targeted from moment one. The only thing is, I think it does come down to which quarterback he wants to work with, because you're going to work with either guy, because the owner came out and said, we've done everything to screw this kid up. We need to build up a coaching staff and, everything else to kind of give him a real chance to succeed. So both teams are committed to their quarterbacks, and both situations have been pretty terrible for both quarterbacks. I will have to admit that, even though I've never been a believer in the Giants kid. But I have to admit, it hasn't been the best situation for him too. So who knows? Hey, look at Josh Allen, dude. I saw him in the Senior Bowl, and I saw him his first year, and I was convinced that guy was going to be just another one of those, all runway guys. They look beautiful on the runway, but when it tries to take off, it's a disaster. And somehow or another, that kid figured it out, and he played like a freaking star last week, man.
He did, and I hate to be that guy, but you can ask the other beat writers when they're on. I was on Josh Allen from his rookie year. To me, there was always.
I know you were. Yeah, you were.
Always something there. No, but I go back to my point that but it doesn't matter how much the Dolphins want Brian Dable. If the Giants also want him, and he's got two offers, then it becomes Brian Dable's choice. And it really struck me, the contrast yesterday with that Giants press conference, where the owner was so public about saying, this is our guy, we've done him wrong, we're going to work with him, that's the deal. As opposed to Stephen Ross, who I have confidence in Tua, he's our quarterback right now, and then the head coach will see if he wants to basically work with him. And then it's leaked out, to national outlets that we want a coach to work with Tua.
Well, because
they had the same opportunity. They had the same opportunity as John Mara did to make that kind of strong public statement, and they didn't.
Well, I think the difference is that Stephen Ross doesn't want to sound like he's the one making the decisions. So at that moment, he said, "I'll let the coach decide." Okay, who he wants to work with, and then the general manager, who's really in charge, because clearly he got his coach. He didn't want his coach, and he's the one that stuck around. So the general manager clearly is in charge and clearly is in step with the owner. So the general manager is the one that says, this is how we're doing it. This is how we're moving forward. We believe in Tua. We're going to find the coaching staff that is going to build around Tua and help him succeed. And then that's where you got your mantra. You got it from the football. It's kind of like the Riley Spo thing now. Riley doesn't tell you what's going to happen on the court anymore, or what's with this player or that player. No, he allows Spo to be the coach and the power guy and to talk about what he's going to do. Riley just talks about big picture and those kind of things. He doesn't meddle with the coach anymore because he doesn't want to do what Jerry Jones does to all of his coaches, in other words. You know what I'm saying? So I think there was a little bit of that they wanted to separate church and state, and I think that's what Ross was trying to do. That's just me.
Or, and there might be some validity to what you're saying, or another possibility is, while they want to express confidence in Tua, they also want to give themselves an out if an opportunity arises, to make a major move at quarterback in the offseason. And I've told you before, I'm not in the camp of kid has to be replaced, but I'm also in the camp of, if the opportunity presents itself where they could make a move, however unlikely that might be, or might be, I think they need to explore it. But it was a pretty distinct contrast between the two press conferences.
At first I thought this thing would drag into the Senior Bowl, but and I think that's because maybe they were thinking Buffalo was going to last, into the playoffs. But with Buffalo out, this looks like this thing's going to be resolved in the next couple of days by early next week. Correct?
Oh, absolutely. And the big domino in the whole thing is Brian Dable and where he winds up. Because if the Giants don't hire him, the Dolphins would be all over him. That would be your guy now. And the Giants situation also is going to wrap up pretty quickly once they get done with the Brian Flores interview. They're scheduled to have Leslie Frazier in, I believe, tomorrow. But it may be that, their minds will be made up rather quickly. I would expect, from what I've read, is the Giants are going to be like no later than Saturday morning. Then if it's Dable, then the Dolphins pivot to plan B. And if it's not Dable, then Dable could be.
My guy Caldwell's out there now. Damn, dude. Who was it that sent that tweet out? Was that Schefter? The one that's not how. Torrey Holt? Oh, so Torrey Holt tweeted out when they hired Eberflus in Chicago. He goes, "That's not how you spell Jim Caldwell."
That's funny. That's funny.
Which, by the way, I'm kind of shocked that Caldwell hasn't been hired yet. Overall, I would think that would be one of the guys. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I have too high of an opinion of Jim Caldwell, but there isn't a more proven candidate available out of everybody that's out there than Jim Caldwell. That's the crazy part.
No, I agree, but he's fighting two things. He's fighting is it's been a while since he was a head coach, and he's fighting also his age.
The health thing, probably. Not
well,
the
his age also. He's like 66, and
yeah, but that's we have coaches that old already in this league.
How many get hired at 66 though, Big? How many get hired at 66?
Belichick, Carroll, our boy in Tampa, they're all in that age.
They weren't 66 when they were hired.
No, I know, but I mean
that's the point. If you look at most of the hiring, Nathaniel Hackett is like what 42 or something now. The Eberflus is what early 40s.
No, yeah, those guys are much younger. Yeah,
and that seems to be the trend. It's the young hotshot coordinator. Everybody's looking for the next Sean McVay.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Free agency wise, are you hearing anything whatsoever on players re-signing, possible trades, anything else going on for the Miami Dolphins?
Too early. Still too early.
Yeah, figured that.
Got to deal with the coaching situation first. As I said before, I don't think there's anywhere in hell they can afford to let Emmanuel Ogbah go. Gesicki to me is 50-50. Outside of that, I'd re-sign Duke Johnson. I don't know what Drew thinks how well he can do on the free agent market, but to me, if I have to just bring back one of the running backs on the roster, it's not Savon Ahmed, it's not Myles Gaskin, it's not Malcolm Brown, it's not Philip Lindsay, it's Duke Johnson. But he is a UFA, so.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I would definitely bring back Duke if I could. All right, follow him on Twitter, of course, at Poupart NFL. More importantly, catch his work there at Sports Illustrated. Bookmark the page and catch him twice a week here doing his thing here with the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report. Alan, have a fantastic weekend, my friend. We will talk next week.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. There you go. The great Alan Poupart, baby, with our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Report.
This has been the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report with Alan Poupart, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and never miss a report. Search Big O Radio Show on most platforms. Visit Sports Grill in our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza.
Thank you all, as always, keeping it locked. Oh, please, do you think Dorsey wants to coach Tua or Allen? It's not a matter of that. It's just a matter of it makes sense. You stay in you stay in Buffalo. It doesn't matter what quarterback you had here. You have to go with the situation, and the situation in Buffalo is much better. It's just silly to think that he's going to come here to work under Dable and kind of almost run his offense anyway. This way, he gets to be his own guy and run his own offense in Buffalo. So, what's easier, to win a championship with an elite head coach with an average QB, or a head coach with an elite QB? Actually, what's easier is to win with a complete team. That's the part of the equation you left out there, Troy. You got head coach and QB, and you didn't put a team. Didn't you have the head coach and the QB with Marv Levy and Jim Kelly? Well, somehow or another, you didn't have the complete game, right? Didn't you have the head coach and the quarterback with Don Shula and Dan Marino? What happened? The head coach and the great quarterback, they've lost a lot. It's usually the head coach and the quarterback that has the team that wins. That's the part of the equation, my brother, that you left out. Get the team that can make a stop. Ask the Bills. They score, and then they put themselves in a tie game. Great. But the problem is you had to give the ball back to Mahomes, and now you got to make a stop, and you failed to make that stop. So now you're home. So as good as your defense was, when you needed your defense to actually make a stop, they couldn't make a stop. And in that game, that seemed like that could have gone forever. Nobody was going to stop anybody. Got to play some defense, man. I mean, what do we remember from the Denver team of a couple of years ago? The defense, right? That's what stands out, that defensive effort. Right? That's what you remember from the Bucks in 01. That's what you remember from the or 03, that is, or the Ravens of 01. That's what you remember with the Dolphins with the no-name defense. You know, these are things that you remember. The Chicago Bears, you remember because of their defense. Got to make some stops, man. It's great to have the quarterback. It's great to have the coach. It's fantastic. I'd rather have the team. And yes, hit the like button, Dolphin Don. Thank you, sir. That is very true right there. Smash the hell out of that like button. Big O, do you think we're going to get rid of our O-line and rebuild it from scratch, or are we going to add pieces? No, they're going to add pieces. Some of those guys are going to be good players, but you've got to get a coach that can get it out of them. That's the real problem, my friend. They got to get a coach, and then you'll find out if a couple of these guys can actually play, and you'll keep them. Jack Del Rio head coach, Pagano DC, Changeli OC. There you go. Let's see. I just want to see the coach put a coaching staff together, not this garbage we've seen for about a decade now. I agree, Chad. I'm with you. Ernesto Santiago says, Big O, what do you think about Kevin Mawai as the O-line coach? I know he was a hell of a player. If he can build a line and coach it up, I got no problem with that. Got to get a great O-line coach. That's for damn sure. So we got the Broncos hiring Nathaniel Hackett as the head coach. So you would imagine that Aaron Rodgers now is headed to Denver, and he's going to follow in the footsteps of what they've done their entire lives in Denver. They traded for Craig Morton. They traded for John Elway. They traded for Peyton Manning, and now they're going to trade for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's kind of what it looks like, right? It looks like Denver said, okay, well, this is our chance to get our quarterback. We got a defense that can win now. We got some weapons. Let's go get the guy that can, finish it off and put it all together in Aaron Rodgers. So that's the thoughts now that Aaron Rodgers will end up in Denver now with Nathaniel Hackett going to the Broncos. Dolphins, Brian Dable now being mentioned more and more with the Miami Dolphins, which is, I guess, a good thing. Out of all the guys that haven't had that shot, he's the one guy. He was an OC with the Dolphins and had it going in the second half of the season. He was an OC with KC. He was the OC with the Browns. Not great places at times. And then the Bills the last couple of years, and he's done a fantastic job. He was the Jets QB coach also. So we're talking about a guy that obviously knows the position very well, which Tua needs. He's coached Tua, which he did at Alabama when they won the national title. Right now, if you can't get my guy, you can get Jim Caldwell, but it seems like they're not as interested, or maybe they are, and we don't know, and, whatever. As much as I hear that they love Dable, and that's the guy they want, and again, it might be what Allen was just saying. It's about going after the younger coach. So you can build off of that, and you have hopefully, if the coach is doing a good job, you've got a long-term view now because you've got your coach for a long time to come. And maybe that's what they want, because if you bring a Jim Caldwell in a few years, you may be in a position where he needs to step down, and you've got to have somebody ready to take over at that point. So that becomes a bit of a mission. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of understand if that's the way they're going to kind of handle this whole thing. But Dable, is he getting closer? Are the Giants in the way? Or is there a third team we're not even talking about that Dable might be talking to? I don't know. That's the weird part. Everybody's getting all of these reports so wrong. It's hard to imagine that they've got everything right now at this point with the whole Dable situation. So we will see. Ross, worst owner in sports. Really, dude? Seriously? So let me ask you, the Fords aren't worse? Because, okay, Ross hasn't gotten it done in what, 10, 12, 13 years that he's owned the team? Well, the Fords haven't gotten it done in 70. I don't know. What's worse? You tell me. Mike Brown hasn't gotten it done in a long time with the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, I'm sorry. He's never gotten it done. Yeah, I know they're in the playoffs right now. I get that, but they haven't won anything. So I'm just wondering, how bad is Ross? I've seen Donald Sterling. That's pretty bad. Jeffrey Loria. That's pretty bad. I know he got a title thanks to Dave Dombrowski, but still. Ross is a great owner. He just doesn't know what he's doing. No, Ross is a great owner. He just hasn't found the right combination to coach the team, to run and coach the team and get that part done. Everything else he's excelled at. He does anything you want an owner to do. He'll buy and pay for anything you need. He's been actually a really good owner overall. In Oakland, they can never solve their stadium issues. He pays for all the stadium issues. They lose their team. In Baltimore, their team got on a truck and left, in the middle of the night. In Indianapolis, they left. In Cleveland, they left. Some of you out there, you like to exaggerate. You don't really know how bad things are. Although you've had the Jeffrey Lorias, and how about John Henry? What a whiny little bitch that was here. You want bad owners? I can give you some bad owners. Yeah. Stephen Ross is not a bad owner. It's just he's hasn't done a good job of finding the combination to run his team, but everything else, man, he does is first class. First class. Ro Jogan says Dable is a bad idea. So what is a good idea? What is a good idea, head coach? Ro Jogan. Tell me what's a good decision. That's what I want to hear. Yes.
No, I was gonna Brian Flores and the Giants. A little more clarification on some things.
What do we got?
Possibly. John Mara, who is the owner of the Giants, said he personally reached out to Brian Flores last week before the Giants hired a GM, which became Joe Schoen. Mara said every one of the Giants GM finalists had Flores on his list, and he wanted Flores to know that the Giants were interested in him.
Good for them.
That was the only
God. I mean, for you Giant fans, that's bad for you, but I'm going to be laughing my ass off. If they, if somebody really hires Brian Flores, man, I'm going to be laughing my ass off.
But it goes more on how the media took that, there's major interest in Brian Flores when it was just the owner reaching out to let him know, hey,
right,
we're going to bring you in because you're on every list of our finalists for the GM.
Right.
So that turned into Flores is the head choice for the Giants for a week?
For a week, yeah. Well, we will see. We're going to see if he's really going to get the job. Big O, please tell us who Flores wanted to draft instead of Tua. I'll tell you, okay? My Cash App is open. If $1 million drops into the Cash App, I'll do it. Okay, how about that? All right? I'll ruin my relationships and everything. I'll turn to the folks and say, "What can I tell you, bro? They gave me $1 million. There's a price for everything." So there you go. So if you all can, drop $1 million in the Cash App, Big O show in Cash App, we're ready to go. Or if you want to drop me $1 million in Bitcoin, we're ready to go. Let's do it. Then we'll give you the information. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have here? What? What do we have? Hey, by the way, the Rogan guy, you gave me something or what? Let's go. Oh, Brian Flores, right? That's it. Brian Flores. So you have no substance, just being a smartass. I got you. George says, Big O, the quest to get our Dolphins franchise back to prominence has become like pissing in the wind. Tough to take for older fans like me to considering being a fan since 78. No, I got you, bro. It's tough, man. All right, let's take a break. Hour number 3. Let's get ready for hour number 3. Give me a couple minutes. Right here live from Hialeah Park. We got the weigh-ins. We'll be back this afternoon at 5 o'clock getting ready for the weigh-ins. The fight's tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Starts off at 6 o'clock. Remember, Fight TV, FITE.TV. Wherever you're watching the show right now, all over the world, I know we got listeners in Portugal and in England and in New Zealand and in Canada and Mexico, all over the place. You can actually watch the entire fight card tomorrow. Pay-per-view, Fight TV. We'll be here tomorrow. Those of you that want tickets, come on by and say hi. Looking forward to that. So we'll have a complete day tomorrow. Let's take a break. Hour number 3, the final hour, coming up for the first show of the day.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them.
With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation.
Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer. The point statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by EJDConstruction.com, where you can trust their team of construction experts. American Dream Lending. Go to adreamlending.com. Stop dreaming and start living your best life. Perdermo Cigars. Experience a Perdermo way. Go to PerdermoCigars.com.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, zero transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Appreciate all of you out there, as always, keeping it locked. And thank you all out there for supporting us every single day on the program. By the way, for those of you that don't know, Marcel Louis-Jacques from ESPN will become our fifth insider for the Miami Dolphins. So we will have you will have insiders every single day on the program. I can't give you our because we're going to add even more. I was just sending it to Sean last night. Our entire list. It's an impressive list, huh? Well, we're going to give you every
Top
week.
notch.
Yeah,
what else
man.
would you expect, though, from Big O?
I appreciate that from both of us. But you're going to get on Mondays Alan Poupart, Joe Shad, and Marcel Louis-Jacques from ESPN. He is joining us next week. They will be the Edge Energy Drink. Finn's insiders reported it's a way for you to get an edge on the Dolphins with Marcel Louis-Jacques. So on Mondays, you have three insiders in Poupart, Shad, and Jacques. Tuesdays, Cam Wolf will join us at 10:30 and Omar Kelly at 12:30. So Omar goes from Mondays to Tuesdays. Okay. Wednesdays, Joe Shad will stop by at 11:30. Thursday, Alan Poupar will stop by at 11:30. Marcel Louis-Jacques will join us at 12:30. Friday, what's it called? Omar Kelly at 11:30 and Cameron Wolf at 12:30. So you will have Dolphin insiders every day and sometimes 2 and maybe even 3 insiders in one day. Yes.
I want you to finish because I have Ian Rappaport.
Oh, what
said the
what
Dolphins
report from
plan
Rappaport?
to have second interviews early next week. Sources said as they continue their search for head coach, despite the flurry of activity today, no rush in Miami.
Okay. So that means they're in.
That means in about 20 minutes we'll probably get an announcement.
Yeah, or that means they're in contact with who they really want, and they're kind of slow walking this thing because they kind of know where they're going already.
They know they got their guy. At least, I mean,
yeah, it must be, man. Yeah, because if not, you would see them hurry it up.
Be like Denver and
Right.
Jacksonville and everybody else.
Right, they're jumping on it because So hire Deion Sanders. Somebody says. Yes.
His son just signed an NIL with Gatorade.
Wow. By the way, Bitcoin's at 36,500, so not still trading sideways, not really going down like I expected, unfortunately. So that's it's a little disappointing, man. I was hoping I was going to get a bigger bargain in crypto with loading up a little bit on Bitcoin. Now's the time to load up on the Bitcoin, man. Now is the time to load up on the Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. Telling you. I got a link there on my Twitter page, by the way, if you want to go to OKCoin. John says Jim Caldwell is coming. Don't get me excited now, John. Don't do that to me. All right? Don't do that to me. Because that's the one name. That's the one name that would get me excited. Jim Caldwell. Like, I like the Brian Daboll hire. It makes sense. I get it. But I'm still the trepidation is there. I'm still nervous. I still don't know. You get me Jim Caldwell, I kind of feel like we're good. Tua will have a chance to succeed now. They'll be able to build an offensive staff. Caldwell is well connected. He'll get a really good defensive coordinator. All those, I would feel so good with Jim Caldwell. That's the and I told you guys that I'm at a point now where I can't get excited with any coach. That's the only guy because been there and done it. That guy won in Detroit, dude. That guy put 3 winning seasons in 4 years in Detroit and 2 playoff trips. You do that in Detroit in 4 years, you deserve to go to the Hall of Fame. So Caldwell gets me excited. Now, the sad part is, from what I've heard, Daboll's the guy they really, 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 really want. So you know what's going to be interesting? Piggybacking off of what you were reading from Rappaport. If the Giants end up hiring Flo and Daboll's still out there with all these hires already happening, then that tells me that, like Brian's the guy. That's what it tells me. But, as the one guy says, Jim Caldwell coming, man, I would love for it all to be Jim Caldwell, and everything I'm hearing is wrong. And yeah, let's go. I love Jim Caldwell, man. I think he would be fantastic for Tua in this offense. Cameron says, I don't think they'll have back-to-back black head coaches. Just my opinion, though. Oh, back to black? Is that? It rhymes. And listen, man, I don't care about the color of the dude. I'm not picking Jim Caldwell because he's black. I'm picking Jim Caldwell because he's an ass kicker. Okay? I'm picking Jim Caldwell because he got Joe Flacco to throw 11 touchdowns and no interceptions on the way to winning a Super Bowl after joining the team in Week 11. I'm picking Jim Caldwell because people like Bill Polian and Tony Dungy have him in high regard. I'm picking Jim Caldwell because he produced 3 winning seasons in 4 years with the Lions and went to the playoffs twice. That's a hell of a resume, man. That's why I'm picking Jim Caldwell. I don't give a rat's ass if he's Asian or Cuban or white or black or orange or green or if he's a Martian. I don't care, dude. Can you coach? Can you put staffs together? Yes and yes. Let's go. Let's rock. That's all I need to know for the next head coach for the Miami Dolphins. That's why Jim Caldwell has been my number one target from day one in this whole thing. I just wish I would hear the Dolphins associated a lot more with Jim Caldwell, and I don't, man. Yeah, I heard it at all. You're right. Hunter Butler says, buy Bitcoin, OK Coin, and sit on it for a few years. I'm with you. I'm with you, Fonzie. Sit on it, Fonzie. I'm with you, Hunter. And by the way, the gentleman that sent me the one of the emails that I read yesterday on the text line or the text, not the email, at 855-912-1056. You are correct, and he's right. I got to stop saying that Jim Caldwell or any coach or anything has got a Rolodex because the man is right. 60% of our audience has no idea what a Rolodex is anymore.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that Jim Caldwell does not have one.
No, I know he has one.
If
But
any of those coaches have one, it will be Jim Caldwell.
I know, but I have to say he has a great phone book or
but it's not a phone book either.
There's no phone books either. Yeah, it's he's got a what do we call it?
Contact list?
Yeah, I guess his contact list is big, strong in his phone or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I have to do it I have to modernize it. He's right. The gentleman yesterday sent me that text that says, you got to stop with the Rolodex stuff. And, and I thought about it. My wife and I were laughing about it. And I go, you know what? That is so damn old. They don't even know how it's spelled. My wife and I were laughing about that. Like Rolodex. Think about it. They're probably spelling D-E-C-K at the end.
Yes, yeah.
And they're not even spelling R-O-L-O-D-E-X. They're probably R-O-L-A, Rolodex. It's like,
it's true, actually. Yeah.
But I really people don't even know what a Rolodex is. I can't even say that anymore.
I could see Jim Caldwell sitting behind his desk after being contacted and going through his contact list / Rolodex and figuring out which name. Yeah, okay. All right. See him OC. That guy, that's a DC. I could see that's Caldwell.
I can see it. Definitely. I just have to come up with a more modern term for it. Okay? Karen is putting $1 million there with a smile. Hey, Karen, listen, that's all it takes. I don't know. She's got a smile there, but Cash App, $1 million. You can send me $1 million in Bitcoin on Cash App too. That's the beauty of Cash App. You guys want to send me, $1 million in Bitcoin? Let's go. I'll tell you the secret if you give me $1 million in Bitcoin. Nothing wrong with that. What we got some breaking news?
Well, not breaking news, but Saints have requested permission to interview Byron Leftwich for their head coaching job.
Wow, if I'm Byron Leftwich, I want to go there.
And it's interesting because now.
Well, no, but he has a quarterback in Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, you do have a quarterback.
I mean, they have a team in New Orleans that all you need to do is get a quarterback. Yeah. But in Jacksonville, you don't have a team, but you have a quarterback. And you don't have a culture. Everything is in New Orleans, dude.
It really is, but
all you need is a damn quarterback.
But it's hilarious now that this comes out, and then it was Adrian Wilson was going over. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's almost like Jacksonville again. The way Denver handled.
Yeah, they're getting cock blocked.
We got to get this. Let's do whatever he wants. Do whatever he wants.
Everybody's using Jacksonville for leverage. Oh God. It's called Google for a reason, Big O. LOL. Yeah, you're right. Wow Printing says contacts is what they call it nowadays, Big O. There you go. So I guess we're gonna go. Caldwell's got heavy contacts all over the league, right? Is that how I'm gonna say it? Heavy contacts all over the league. All right. We gotta eliminate Rolodex. I have to take that out of my vernacular. All right. I do love Rolodex, but we're old. That's why we love it. But young people are like, what the hell is he talking about? What the hell is a Rolodex? I remember when Hank Goldberg left the station, right? Hank left his Rolodex there. And I swear to you, dude, the producers haven't had it, man. Hank, I don't know if you know, buddy, but when you left and you left your Rolodex there, that thing became like a free-for-all for the producers. They were going through that thing and writing phone numbers and, oh, my God, this guy, that guy. Because obviously, Hank was in the business forever.
Yeah, good old Hank Goldberg.
Right, you know what I mean? And Hank still wasn't going to have all of it on his cell phone. He literally had it in a Rolodex. He would carry that Rolodex with him. He would bring it to the studio.
Did I tell you my story of producing for Hank?
Oh, God, it must have been interesting. What?
I was producing his Sunday show when he did it from the casino.
Oh, okay. You're talking at 640.
Yeah, at 640.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
yes.
And first time with this, they brought me in on this. I had no idea what I was.
Oh, you didn't know what you were getting
into. Yes. So I'm like, we're on commercial break. I'm like, Hank, coming back in 30. Okay. Hank, 15. He's like, I'm going to need a minute. No, Hank, your music's playing. I need a minute. We literally, he sat there. The music played for a minute, and he was not getting on until he was done placing his bet.
Hey, priorities, dude.
And he kept going. I'm like, I want to hit the button now just so everybody can hear what I'm hearing.
That's why my man moved to Vegas now, so he can always lay a bet. And
nicest guy to me, though. Seriously,
he was
okay.
Good,
to me.
good,
Yes,
good. Hank is kind of like a weird dude to people because he was such like a hard ass at times on air, and he would tear people up and all that. And hell, he even busted my chops plenty of times too, right? But then behind the scenes, he was awesome. He was just awesome. Like a total mensch, as the word that they would like to use in the Jewish community when they call somebody that's studly and lives up to, Hank is the ultimate mensch. It's just awesome. You know what I mean? Behind the scenes, anytime I needed something, Goldberg was always there for me, dude. Always. Every time. Advice, whatever. You name it. Hank Goldberg was always willing to help me out. But on the air, it was like, it was the whole thing. It was weird. It was one of those, and you explain it to people, and half the people won't believe you. They won't believe you. They think, oh, you're talking him up, and you don't want to trash the guy. No, dude, no, I'm telling you, Hank was actually a really good dude, bro. It's just, the persona on the air and all that stuff. And yeah, he could be, and even off the air, yes, if he was in a bad mood and he didn't have a good betting night, yeah, you kind of knew he didn't have a good betting night the next day. You know what I'm saying? My dad was like that, okay? My dad was like an enormous degenerate, okay? I mean, seriously. And my dad was like that too. The next day after he lost, he didn't have a good day. You kind of knew it, but that's, it is what it is.
Yeah, and he didn't like the clock either, by the way.
Yeah, so, no, yeah.
Going to break. We still got 10 minutes. Break. Just get them walk away. Great times. Good times.
Jason Schneider says, Big O, who would be your picks for O coordinator and QB coach? Jason, get me the head coach. Let him worry about that. You understand? If you get me Jim Caldwell, he knows who to hire because he's also a QB guy. You know what I'm saying? Daboll is an offensive and QB guy. So if you get those guys, they should know who to hire. It really doesn't matter who we want as an O coordinator or anything like that. First, let's get the head coach. Because if they don't have the same philosophies, it won't jive. Cameron Wolf says, one thing I've been told to watch whenever Dolphins officials hire their new coach, they want to keep most of their defensive coaching staff. They feel they are close on that side of the ball and have spoke with candidates about that. How about that? Okay. A lot of people like Josh Boyer and what he's done. And most of those guys are like, yeah, I'll stay here. I have no interest in working for Flo.
You don't talk to me anyway.
Yeah, Flo didn't even talk to him. From Thanksgiving on, Flo didn't even talk to those guys. That's why they were winning. Because nobody had to deal with Flo. Nobody wants to go with Flo. Oh, that's awesome. Dolphins signed wide receiver Devontae Dedmon to a reserve futures contract. Imagine him living up to the last name and becoming the Dwayne Dedmon of the Dolphins. Would be pretty cool. That's interesting, David. I like that. No, it doesn't work, but maybe he's a good blocking wide receiver, helps the run game. Maybe Mike McDaniel told him, sign him. I need my receivers to block. I don't know.
Oh, you're joking, right? The timeline's blowing up now since the Dolphins are waiting.
Oh, McDaniel's a sweetheart.
No, but everybody's like, it's Mike McDaniel now. They're
right,
waiting.
because he's still in the playoffs.
They're waiting, so that's got to be
that. Well, wait a minute. They might be half right in the sense that they want to give him the opportunity to interview before they make the final decision. Maybe that's the case. Because maybe in the first interview, it was like, okay, do you know who you can get as a coaching staff? Well, I think I can get this or that. All right, let's do this. We love what you're all about. Let's talk in a couple weeks, find out what you can do as a coaching staff. And then maybe for the last couple of weeks, before he does that second interview again, he's been trying to find out if he can put a coaching staff together. You see what I'm saying? And so then he comes back to them, hey, I can get this guy's this and this and that. So maybe there's some of that going on. You never know. None of us really know what's going on behind the scenes, as you can tell what's gone on with Chicago and with Denver now.
And then also, and
Jacksonville too.
If what Cameron Wolf just reported is accurate, you only really have to work on one side of the ball.
Right. Yes.
If the
Great
Dolphins
point on your
are
call.
keeping the defense there, you're really working on the one side of the ball, and it's the side of the ball
Yeah. So, because hell, he wasn't talking to the defense, so Boyer was calling it, so they figured, all right, yeah, you can do it. Let's go. Let's see. What else do we have here? Big O, why isn't Eric Bieniemy being considered for head coaching jobs? Ask yourself that. Ask why Doug Peterson isn't being looked at. Something's going on, right? One guy won a Super Bowl. The other guy has been part of a very successful staff in Kansas City. And yet neither guy is on the radar. So, yeah. This is one of those things that you've got to ask yourself, what do they know that we don't? Why isn't it the slam dunk that we all think it might be? What is it that Eric Bieniemy, why does he fail in the interview process? Right? That's what you have to ask yourself, because Eric Bieniemy has had so many opportunities to interview, and yet he never gets the job. So, and it's not like other minority coaches haven't been hired. They have. Right? People are talking to Caldwell. People are talking to Byron Leftwich. People are talking to Vance Joseph. So there are other minority coaches that are being talked to. So why not Eric Bieniemy? There are established coaches like Jim Caldwell being talked to, right? Vance Joseph has been there, but yet nobody's talking to Doug Peterson. Why? The guy won a title. It's weird. But there must be something there with Peterson. There must be something there with Bieniemy that it's just not connecting with people right now. I don't know what it is. I can't tell you. I can't answer it. I mean, personally, I'm not a Peterson guy. Bieniemy, I have nothing against Bieniemy. The only thing I have against Bieniemy is what I have against all the other guys. He's never done it. So I have no idea if he can do it. That's why I want Caldwell. Okay? Dable, I will accept because he's been an offensive coordinator in 5 different places. Yes, sir.
Are they both off of Reed Street?
Who?
Peterson? Is he from? Where's Peterson?
Peterson who? What Peterson?
Doug Peterson. Where does he fall under as far as the coaching trees? Is he under?
Oh, he's under Andy Reid's tree.
Same as Bieniemy, right?
Yes. So you think it? Oh, and Nagy failed, and so okay, I see what
It's
you're.
almost becoming the Belichick, right?
Yeah, it's coming. I see what you're saying now. I see where you're going with this. Okay. Yeah. I mean, they won the title in Philly, so maybe they think it was more flukish than anything else, and so they don't give Peterson that kind of credit. I don't know. I don't know. But it's weird. But good point by you. I putting the two in the same tree together. That's right. I forgot about that. Flomar is thinking right now.
Ian Rappaport has added to his statement.
Yes.
Among the names expected to receive second interviews from the Dolphins, Cowboys OC Kellen Moore, 49ers OC Mike McDaniel, and Bills OC Brian Daboll.
Right. Exactly. So they're going to be thorough about this. They're going to go through the second round. So it tells me that it's one of those 3 guys then. Have what?
All offensive guys.
Oh yeah,
because people said Vance Joseph, but
if they want to
he's
keep the defensive
guy,
but they want to keep the defensive
exactly.
staff.
That's what I was aiming
So
at.
they're going to go for. So not only do you have to, they want to go forward with Tua, but they also have the defensive staff in place. So they kind of feel that okay,
maybe that's why it's going to be a first-time coach too, though.
Yeah.
Because most guys with any
they're helping
tenure
him
or
build the staff. That's what they're
that
doing.
as well. And then another Jim Caldwell, for instance, does he want to come in and be told,
No,
that's your defense?
right. It's probably what it is. So they want a young guy, and they want to be able to help the young guy, and they want the guy to come in and be open to being helped. And guys like Reggie McKenzie can help you build the staff, dude. They're incredibly experienced, so it makes a lot of sense. All right, is Eves there? Is he ready to go? My man Eves is there. He's ready to go. Eves Sham, baby, from AmericanDreamLending.com. I don't know if Eves is part of the interview process for the Miami Dolphins and the head coach. I don't know if they're calling him or what, but I do know that he's probably in the midst right now of helping Brian Flores with his mortgage. Right? Is that what's going on right now, Eves?
He hasn't reached out to me yet.
Did you help Mario Cristobal with his mortgage? Now that I'm sure he got a nice.
I'm sure Mr. John Ruiz was able to get him assisted on that on that matter. Maybe they didn't even need a mortgage. Who knows? But I'm sure he was able to assist them. Didn't get a call. Well, you'd be surprised how many other players make their home in South Florida that play for other teams.
Yeah.
We work with a couple of them.
Yeah, I know you've had several athletes actually go through American Dream Lending. So that's actually cool. We sent one actually. So folks, of course, his cell number is there, 305-992-5218. Several of our listeners locally, nationally have called Eves, and now they are in a much better place. You can do the same thing by calling American Dream Lending right now. adreamlending.com is the website. His phone number, 305-992-5218. That's 305-992-5218. Save it on that cell phone. By the way, the feds yesterday saying that they're not going to raise rates, but they do plan on doing it in March. They kind of want to see where things are going. How does that change the landscape in the mortgage business?
I mean, right now in January, where we're at, rates have gone up anywhere from 3/8 to 3/4% on different loan products. So we've already seen the increases with the anticipation of the rate increases and the reaction to the market, the bond market, what's going on in the stock market that really plays a role on the treasuries that really impact the interest rates for mortgages directly. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, the Fed interest rate doesn't have a direct impact, but the Fed interest rate impacts the bond market, which impacts a Fannie Mae bond, and that what it triggers rate increases or rate drops. But at the end of the day, historically, we're still at historically low interest rates. We'll go back over the past 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and we are at the lowest point in interest rates still historically, and we're probably never going to see rates like this again. So, yeah, you didn't get the 3% or the 2.5 on a 30-year that your friend got a year ago, but you can still get something down in the threes, and there's tons of equity pent up there that you can gain access to whenever you need it. So right now, the name of the game has been self-employed borrowers. The expansion of non-QM loans for self-employed individuals that are using alternative income sources. Meaning they can't qualify with their bank statements because they're running off a lot of expenses and liabilities off through their business and through their taxes. And we get them qualified with bank statement income from their business, from their personal account. We could use a profit and loss from their accountant. We could use a 1099 if their corporation or themselves as a sole proprietor receives a 1099. These products have been on a continued expansion, and self-employed borrowers are taking advantage of these products, getting in their refinances now, and a lot of them buying houses for the first time.
Well, folks, if you want to take advantage right now, the rates are still rock bottom right now. I know it's gone up slightly, but still great rates right now. So it's a great opportunity for first-time home buyers. 305-992-5218. The beauty about Eves is he eliminates the V and he makes it a yes for you. So you want to call American Dream Lending right now. adreamlending.com is the website if you want to check it out. Call Eves. That's his personal cell number. So you've got the owner's personal cell. Tell him that Big O sent you. Doesn't matter where you live, by the way, because he's registered in 47 of 50 states. So wherever you're watching, or maybe you're thinking of moving, call Eves, man. They can help you out. All right. 305-992-5218. Any other specific packages or programs people are taking advantage right now?
I mean, right now, as far as refinances are concerned, everybody has equity. If you bought a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, you have equity.
Right.
If you have a way you could use it wisely to save yourself some money, increase your household income, we can tell you if it makes sense to do something like that or not. Maybe it doesn't make sense.
Right.
We'll let you know that as well. But interest rates are still historic lows. So wherever you're at, if you're looking to buy properties, there's plenty of funding available for new purchases. You want to get some renovations done, whatever you want to chit chat about, or maybe you're thinking about buying in a year or two, whatever the case may be, give us a call. We're glad to talk to you. We're glad to point you in the right direction so we can help you accomplish your goals and live out your dreams.
Folks, do what a lot of our listeners have already done because American Dream Lending does great work for everybody out there. I love the feedback I've gotten from some of you out there that have called Eves, and you're in a much better place now. You do the same thing. Call them right now, 305-992-5218. First-time home buyers, or you want to refinance to lower those payments, or how about this? Consolidate, get rid of those credit cards before the rates go up. Take advantage of that equity right now. Call American Dream Lending and call my guy Eves right now. His phone is right there, ready for you. 992-5218. Eves, I appreciate you, my brother. Hopefully by the time you join us next week, we will have a head coach.
Who do you think is going to be, Big O?
I've been saying for 2 weeks now they want Caldwell. Dable badly. I want Jim Caldwell, but I haven't even heard him in the mix. So I think Dable's the guy they really want badly. All right, and we're gonna have Cam Wolf on now, who actually broke a very interesting nugget on the story for the Miami Dolphins. So we're gonna talk to Cam next here.
All right. Well, I'm hoping the Michigan guy comes down. Harbaugh. I know the talks are not that much. Saw an analyst talking about a Harbaugh, Aaron Rodgers combo with maybe dropping off some picks and picking up another running back and a few more offensive linemen.
Oh, those khaki pants. I don't know. That weirdo. I don't know, bro. I'm not a Harbaugh guy. I like his brother, John Harbaugh. I like. That dude's can coach men. Jim Harbaugh, he's kind of kooky, bro. It's kind of kooky. I don't know about him, man. I don't know about him. All right, we'll see what happens next week, my brother. I appreciate you. Have a great weekend. And folks, call him 305-992-5218. I promise you, Eves will take care of you. Eves, you're the best, man. Thank you.
Have a good one, Big O.
You got it, baby. There you go. American Dream Lending, adreamlending.com. All right, let's switch over. Let's talk football. Cam Wolf, baby. Yeah.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. We unleash the Wolf Pack as we get the latest in the NFL and Miami Dolphins with our Fort Lauderdale Police Department Pro Football Report with insider Cameron Wolf. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is an equal opportunity employer. The department is now hiring uncertified and certified police officers. Go to flpdjobs.com. Here's NFL insider Cameron Wolf.
Back here. We are ready to talk a little Miami Dolphins football with Cameron Wolf, and he reported, says, I've been told to watch whenever Dolphins officially hire their new coach. They want to keep most of their defensive assistant coaching staff. They feel they are close on that side of the ball and have spoke with candidates about that. Now, the funny part was Barry Jackson then retweeted Cameron Wolf's and says, makes sense unless Flores gets job and takes Boyer and others. Somebody tell Barry Jackson that Flo didn't even talk to those guys after Thanksgiving. Those guys don't want to go with Flo anywhere. I'm not sure Barry knows that part. But anyway, let's bring him aboard. Cameron Wolf.
It's good, man.
Dropping knowledge as always. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm here to bring knowledge. That's what we're here for, man. That's why you got the best group of Dolphins people talking on a weekly basis, because we're always going to give you the honest truth and the real. For folks who've been watching the whole time, you remember last week I told you that they're probably going to have a second round of interviews. And
yes, sir.
Like it doesn't make sense, It's supposed to be Dable. We got to make a decision. Well, now you see Ian coming out and saying they're going to have a second round of interviews next week. So I'm dropping the nuggets here on the Big O Show before they become public elsewhere. But yeah, I think that, I think they're taking their time with this, which some people will see as a bad thing because you're competing with the Giants and other teams. But I also think they're trying to get this right. They're hoping not to have a head coach search again 2 or 3 years from now, which they've seemed to have on cycles. So if it takes more time, it takes more time. Like you mentioned in my report, they do like what they have on the defensive side of the ball. I was told repeatedly after the season that they felt like they were close on the defensive side of the ball. They just needed a punch, a kick on the offensive side of the ball to get them going forward. And that's why you're going to see a lot of the candidates they interview for the second round, assuming they get to the second round, be offensive guys, because they think, hey, we fix the offense, keep our defense intact, and get a guy who can lead, and we're going to be in good shape. Now, I don't know if that's the best path. we'll see. I like the idea of fixing the offense. I also like the idea of your head coach being a guy you lead and not just a schemer. So they're gonna have to focus in on, can this guy be a leader? But that seems to be their plan going forward. And as far as Barry Jackson's report about the Flo taking assistance, that's always a possibility. But one thing to know is that a lot of these coaches are under contract, so they would need to be promoted for them to leave. So Josh Boyer, unless they said, hey, we'll
unless he's the defensive coordinator, right?
Yeah, he's already the
defensive coordinator / head coach. Actually, he would assistant head coach. Yeah, that would.
I don't even know if assistant head coach is enough of a promotion for you to leave. I think it has to be a full move. Like if you're for example, if they wanted to go after a Gerald Alexander and Flo's saying, hey, we'll bring you on to be our play calling defensive coordinator, he could hire him to do that. But Josh Boyer, unless you let him out of his contract, another team can't take a lateral move like that. So that's something to watch with all of those.
And as our newest insider, who will start next week with us, Marcel Louis-Jacques, with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report, he broke last week that the coach wasn't even talking to his assistants after Thanksgiving. So that I don't know what kind of relationship he may have with some of these coaches. So I don't know who's really going to want to go with him, if he's even hired overall. So, and by the way, just to kind of piggyback off of your story and going a little bit off of against what Barry's saying, I think it makes sense. It's not that I make sense. I understand the method behind the madness because they figure, okay, we've made progress on defense. We've made no progress on offense. So let's find the young coach that we can help him build a staff, but a guy that's offensive minded and that knows offense and knows quarterbacks and can build that side of the ball, since this side of the ball is a lot closer. So let's try to maintain continuity here, because on that side, there is no continuity. So it doesn't matter what you do on that side of the ball, tearing it down and rebuilding. But on the defensive side, it does matter. So philosophically, we stay with the same coaches. We stay with the same kind of drafting scheme, because as you know, if you go 4-3 to 3-4, and then you have to switch up the different defensive linemen, the different linebackers, all these kind of things end up changing. Well, that part they don't want to change. So I understand the method behind the madness of saying, okay, let's maintain the continuity here. Let's fix what is disastrous here.
Right. And so I definitely get the philosophy. Like, I think I've told you on this show, I think that Gerald Alexander is a future star in this league. I think he's a decent.
You and Omar have been very high on Gerald Alexander.
Yeah, and so like I usually am not a guy who, position coach, we don't know yet. We haven't seen him when it's actually his gig, but I've talked to him. I've seen just kind of how he flows. And I think that Gerald Alexander is going to be a rock star. In fact, every time I tweet about Gerald Alexander, I get Dolphins fans telling me to shut up so they don't lose the guy. Like, other people in the league don't know this. I'm not just sharing some, dark kept secret that nobody knows. People know Gerald Alexander. He's got to wait for his chance. So that's a guy that I definitely want to keep. The one concern, and I agree that the defense is a lot further and close. The one concern I would have is you're telling your head coach candidates essentially that you're having to keep Tua, you're having to keep your defensive assistants. And so you're essentially handicapping them a little bit. Not saying that's not the right move for both choices, but I also like the idea of giving my head coach a chance to at least make some decisions, So I'm not in, I think that it's the right move to keep defensive staff, but I also would love to wait until this guy is hired and let him be in on at least interviewing these guys. Do I want to keep this guy? Do I want to, not? So that's the one part of it I'm not in love with. But overall, I'm with you. I think the defense.
Think about this. The guy that's the boss is tortured.
Yeah,
because he's been here for 20 years and he's watched new coach after new coach that couldn't build staffs, that couldn't get it done.
Right.
So he goes, well, we're going with a new coach. Well, hold on. Let's not make the mistakes we've made in the past. If we're going with the new coach, we all know the new coach is going to struggle to put together staffs, because that's kind of the thing. Well, we have our defensive staff in place. Why are we going to ruin that? Why are we
Right.
going to, what's it called? Upset the cart or whatever. What's that saying or whatever? So, why are we going to do that? Let's keep this intact. Let's keep that continuity. And I think that's kind of, if you're Chris Greer, you're like, man, I've seen this over and over again. All right, if we're going to do it, let's try to shortcut this thing. And I
Right.
think, just me, after piggybacking on your story, that's what I'm seeing now through the trees.
Right, right. And one thing I did hear also, giving you guys first on the Big O show, that Steve Ross is definitely taking a bigger, and it's not a surprise, but Steve Ross is taking a bigger step in this coaching search and trying to be involved in it. And I'm not saying that he hasn't in past years, but I've been told from people that they feel like Ross is having a big hand on this search, and he obviously wants an offensive guy to get to fix this search. I've told you guys before, Chris Greer is a fan of Vance Joseph, of Dan Quinn. These are guys that Chris Greer has a lot of respect for. But as you saw today, Dan Quinn drops out of the hunt. You see Vance Joseph, who, I haven't heard anything yet. Ian tweeted about the 3 candidates who are likely to get second interviews. Vance wasn't included in that group. I'll still be working to see if he's included. But if he's not, then you eliminate pretty much all the defensive candidates who Chris Greer was in love with. And not saying that Chris Greer doesn't love one of these offensive guys, but that's a Steve Ross wanting an offensive guy. So that's something that definitely to watch as you're going about that. Obviously Steve Ross wants to make this work and get this offense a lot better. So I think it's going to be interesting, next week. Like I said, I'm going to be at the HBCU Combine. One thing I did hear is that, and I'm not sure if it'll change, but as of yesterday, Chris Greer was actually confirmed to be down there at the HBCU Combine in Mobile. So maybe that changes with the coaching search still going on, but he was scheduled as of earlier this week to be.
He's a scout at heart, bro. He goes through all that stuff. I've run into Chris Greer in the last 20 years in the Las Vegas Football Classic, the Orlando Gridiron, the East West, the Senior Bowl, the Combine. I've seen that guy in all the different all-star games that I've been to.
He definitely is a scout at heart, and I actually appreciate like the HBCU event. I appreciate him giving attention to that because there's not a lot of first-round prospects there, or even day
players
too. But there's players.
But
I found it interesting that in the middle of a coaching search, that he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go down here." So that kind of goes into the idea that the Dolphins are putting out that, hey, we're taking our time. So obviously you see today that they're putting out the message through people, hey, we're taking our time, we're not in a rush. And so that kind of goes to that. So
a couple of things. Caldwell, everybody's gotten it wrong. Caldwell to Chicago didn't happen.
Yeah.
What's it called? Quinn to Denver didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville, I don't even know if they're still getting Leftwich because now New Orleans also wants to talk to him, and that's a bitch, right? If you're Leftwich, you're going, well, Jacksonville has a quarterback, but New Orleans has a team.
Right.
So where do I go? You know what I'm saying? It's like if I can find a quarterback in New Orleans, I can win right now. In Jacksonville, I still have to build a whole team around that kid,
Right.
So it's kind of interesting, but they're not getting things right. And then Caldwell was a guy that I love, obviously, but
right.
Outside of Chicago,
yep,
I don't think we've heard him associated with anyone else outside of, maybe the Polian connection in Chicago.
Yeah, he at Jacksonville, I think, interviewed him for a job. But other than that, there hasn't been anything else. And I was actually surprised. I texted you about it. I thought that he was going to end up being the guy in Chicago. So I was wrong on that. Eberflus ended up being the guy. And I think a lot of that Ryan Poles, their GM, was given like, hey, here are the 3 finalists. And clearly he chose Matt Eberflus, which is interesting because we always talk offensive guys with these young quarterbacks. We're talking about it with Tua. You got Justin Fields out there, and you're hiring a defensive-minded head coach, which is fine. I have no issue with that. But who's going to be the OC to get Justin Fields right?
Right.
And that's the big question. And then if you get a rock star OC, can you keep him? So I think that's going to be something to watch there in Chicago. I don't know much about Matt Eberflus. Maybe he ends up being an awesome head coach, but that actually surprised me. Not much surprises me, but that surprised me a little bit that they went Eberflus, over Caldwell in that situation. So, I haven't heard anything here with Jim Caldwell. People love Doug Peterson in the search. I know you're not a Doug Peterson guy, but people
that was,
love
that was
him.
my next question.
And Peterson, he hasn't got anything.
And Bieniemy, dude.
Right. And that's 3 offensive guys who haven't really got much love throughout the cycle. This year, more than any year, it seems to be teams taking their time, and they're also taking chances on first-time head coaches. So
Got to give Sean credit here on the point he made, because Peterson and Bieniemy, and then Nagy failed.
mhm.
Is the Andy Reid tree rotting a little bit there from inside?
I mean, you could look at it that way. Sometimes there are lapses where you go away from it, like the Patriot head coach
Oh
tree.
God, no,
We've
that's
seen that
canceled.
for a while, so that's
That's
why I think it's going to be difficult for Gerard Mayo to get a job this year, who I think is going to end up, has a good chance to be a good head coach. But after you see Brian Flores fired, after you see, a lot of times people is revisionist history. You're like, you see what happened. Like, why would I just hire somebody from that same tree? So yeah, I think you're probably right about that to an extent with Matt Nagy.
Sean's right,
Out.
not me.
Sean's right about that.
Should
Matt
give
Nagy,
Sean
Doug
love
Peterson. Yeah, props to you, Sean. That's probably a good observation, because owners, and I've talked about this before, owners are, not
They
saying
do the math. They're doing the math. They're doing
they go either way. They watch on TV. They're not, a lot of owners are not hardcore football people. They own a team, they're business people, and they listen to the people around them.
I agree. So yeah, that's what is. I wonder what is it about Bieniemy and Peterson that we don't know. I mean, the Peterson one, I heard a lot of things about him losing the locker room, and I
Mhm.
think that's kind of stuck with him, with that. So maybe that's it. That people didn't like the fact that he had it like made there, and all of a sudden that thing went awry. It reminds me a lot of Gruden in Tampa. That after he won it, all it did was progressively get worse. It never got any better, or he could never maintain it. You know what I mean? And it was like that for Philly. They hit the pinnacle and then they went right downhill like
Yep.
that. So I wonder what's behind the scene there, and I wonder what's the deal with Bieniemy that after all the hype and everything, and now, dude, in this round here,
Yeah.
he's not even being considered for anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes conversations about Bieniemy. I don't know if I feel comfortable putting them out there yet, because that's how rumors kind of get started. But there is
Right.
some thought about Bieniemy and maybe why that hasn't happened. Some of the stuff you talk about Doug Peterson, there's questions about what happened at the end at Philadelphia, and some of the things we talked about with Brian Flores, like, can you hire a staff? A lot of the people that
And you get along with people.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So those are things that I think are part of that. And also, especially for Eric Bieniemy, and I was talking with a front office guy this week who actually did some GM interviews, and he mentioned the fact that, you don't want to take every interview, because you're essentially, people, it's like Toy Story. They, owners look at you like a toy and say, hey, I don't want to play. Everybody played with you. They throw you away and say they don't want to play with you anymore 8 times. Why me, the 9th guy picking you up, am I going to say you're my best toy? So,
Right.
I mean, it sucks to look at it in that lens, but some owners do look like, man, 8 guys passed up on this dude.
Right.
I'm not going to be the one to give him the chance. So that's honestly how it's looked at sometimes. So that's why you're going to see, especially guys who recognize that, be cognizant. And that's why I don't think it's anything wrong when you see coaches decline interviews. If you feel like you don't have a real chance there, if you feel like you wouldn't take that job, then why are you going to interview, and have your name kind of, if I interview for 5 different places and I'm putting it out publicly that I'm interviewing 5 and I get no jobs, how are people going to look at me? They're going to be like, dang,
Right.
Nobody wanted you.
Right.
So even, it's better for me not to interview from one job. I interview from one job and don't get it. That happens. So I think that's you got to be a little selective on that.
All right, so it's Dable, McDaniels, and who's the third one that's going to get the
Kellen Moore, Ian
Kellen
Rappaport.
Moore? Okay, yeah, I would
Yes.
never hire Kellen Moore in a heart for nothing. I'd take a chance on the other two. I get it, but here's the other thing with those 3 guys. This also tells me that all 3 guys are accepting of the defensive staff and accepting of Tua. That's what that tells me. If they're all 3 getting the second go around, that was talked about in the first go around, right? The first, I was telling people in the first go around, you have to clear things up, like the quarterback. You have to clear things up about the defensive staff, right?
Mhm.
And then moving forward, obviously, do you have the same philosophical thing about what you want to do on offense? Okay, great. So now we're moving forward. So that tells me that all 3 guys know exactly what they have to do and they're fine with it. Do you agree or disagree on that?
I definitely think I definitely know for a fact it's been communicated to all 3 guys, and clearly, if they're still have their name in the search, that they're willing to continue to talk about it. Now, that's not saying that this is the end all be all. Like, they've clearly made this clear. This is what they want. If they have a guy, if it ends up being Dable and he says, hey, I'm only taking this gig if you get rid of 2 guys, I don't think the Dolphins are going to be foot in the sand and saying, no, we're not going to get rid of this guy. But I do know this is something they've made clear to them, that they would like to keep this defensive staff. And one thing to note, and I know you talked about Daboll throughout this whole process, and I think it's reasonable to conclude that him, with the Giants opportunity and Dolphins opportunity, believes that he's going to get one of those jobs. There may be a little bit of leverage play going on between a lot of these different factors, whether it's, Daboll ends up getting a contract offer from someone. Does he want to go to Miami? Does he play it as leverage? Does he want to go to the Giants? Does he play it with leverage? And do the teams play it as leverage? If the Dolphins end up saying, hey, Daboll's our guy, but he's asking for too much, or he's not, following all our guidelines on our defensive staff, then maybe we go through a second round interviews and interview McDaniel and Kellen Moore that may not be our first choice, but we take them if it happens. So a lot of times you see leverage plays go on when you get later in the coaching cycle. I think you're seeing it in Jacksonville with Byron Leftwich. He clearly wants a different situation with the GM. They're doing different interviews. He's doing different interviews. So a lot of this is game playing. You're playing a lot of games, and the problem with playing games, sometimes you can lose. You can lose the game.
Jacksonville is funny because Balky's trying to find the guy that won't fire him.
Right.
So that's kind of
So that's something to definitely watch, on both sides, the team side and the coach candidate side, the leverage play, the playing games, and trying to get exactly what you want. Because once you sign that contract, you're in. So if you sign a contract and say, hey, I don't have GM, I don't have power on the 53-man roster, I don't have power on my coaching staff, then that's going to be the way your whole coaching contract until you redo it. So these are things that, especially for first-time head coaches,
I don't think this guy, I don't think whoever takes over of these young guys is going to have power personnel this time around.
Right. I agree with you.
That's done.
I agree.
That's over. And guess what? None of them should have any power personnel because you haven't earned it, dude. That's the problem here. I know Marvin Allen and Greer and McKenzie, they have earned the right to do the personnel side. What they got to stop doing, and I think that's what they're going to do now, is they're not going to have the guy that's constantly getting in the way and cock blocking the situation. That's what's going to end here, and that'll be good too. You know why? You will now get to judge the personnel department on the personnel and the head coach on coaching. And that's it. Move on, dude.
Yep.
Move on. All right. So because the Bills are eliminated, but San Francisco is not, how long does this last? Because I was thinking, okay, with Daboll out, well, I was thinking this might last past the Senior Bowl.
Right.
But now that Daboll's out, but McDaniel's still in, I don't know how this thing's going to go. I still believe what I heard, that Daboll's their number one guy. I kind of almost feel that McDaniel is the fallback option, actually. I think he's the second option if they don't land Daboll. That's just me. What are you hearing?
Yeah, I think you're looking at a situation where, like you said, I think this week, and I would have to double check on the rules to make sure I'm certain, but I think this week the teams in the NFC Championship and AFC Championship games couldn't go through interviews.
Right.
So people were asking, why maybe there weren't interviews this week. I think that may be a part of it. Now, this week, regardless of San Fran wins or not, there's a week gap before the Super Bowl where you can interview. So, and if you remember when they hired Brian Flores, I believe they did a second interview during this week, and they made the decision to hire him in principle. So it was known, it was reported, but he wasn't officially hired, and he didn't have his press conference until after the Super Bowl.
Right.
So that would probably, if for whatever reason McDaniel is the guy, that would probably be the process they go about, where they do the interviews next week, they go about it, and they probably leak to someone, that, hey, McDaniel's going to be next head coach. So we all know that. But then for a week and a half, there's nothing done. He's still a 49er as they go through their Super Bowl run. And if they lose, then he's free, and everybody's free. So I think that's why you're going to see next week. I'd imagine next week we have a final decision, even if it's not official.
Follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolf. We'll talk to you next week. You'll be out in Vegas, right?
Yes, yeah. I'll be out in Vegas. Mobile now, Vegas next week. So
you got it. All right, there you go. Have some fun, man. Lay a couple
of
bets for me, as always.
Put it on black, right?
Always bet on black.
Exactly.
Always. All right, Cam. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right, see you, Big O.
You got it. for you Passenger 57 fans. All right, that is Cameron Wolf, baby, in our Fort Lauderdale Police Department, Miami Dolphins, and NFL report.
This has been the Fort Lauderdale Police Department Pro Football Report with insider Cameron Wolf. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is an equal opportunity employer. The department is now hiring uncertified and certified police officers. Go to flpdjobs.com.
Okay. What is MSM? This guy, MSM Media, spreads fake news. Simply puppets, good journalists don't work for MSN. Huh? Miami Sports Media? Is that what he means? So what, like nobody in the Sentinel, the Herald, the Palm Beach Post is a good journalist? Come on. That's ridiculous. If that's what that means, Miami Sports Media. Red Horse Adventures, Lane Kiffin is available. There you go. Let's get Lane Kiffin. Oh, mainstream media. Nah, I don't think so either. Dude, I just think that some of you out there, look, I know what happens in politics because you watch it on CNN and Fox. They're embarrassing. But in sports, I just think you have a lot of incompetence. That's all it is. It's not an agenda driven or anything like that. I just think guys are killing them, guys and women. And the women don't really screw up nearly as much. They rarely ever do. It's the guys that are so hungry to get the story first that they don't care if they get it wrong. And you know what also happens in this world, right? And that's why I've messed with some of you at times. When you say stupid stuff and then I tell you show me the proof and then you can never show me the proof because I know what you're saying is completely irresponsible and then I block your ass because it's kind of there are no repercussions in today's world for getting it wrong. So you can be like certain football websites that you throw out 87 stories and 85 of them are inaccurate, but 2 of them stick. So you can brag about the 2 and then the other 85 and everybody forgets. Right? It's just the way it is. Everybody's got short-term memory. Nobody remembers Rick Sanchez hanging out with what's the name of that guy that drug dealer from Hialeah that was arrested? Whatever his name is. Nobody remembers that. You know what I'm saying? It's just everybody has short-term memory. It's the way it is. So that's the problem. It's not a political thing. It's not an agenda-driven thing. It's not whatever. It's just irresponsibility. That's all. And you're just dying to get it right, so you got to just throw it out there. That's the problem, dude. So, either way. Charlie Brown's Christmas tree looks better than Belichick's coaching tree. I would agree with that. Still trying to remember the drug dealer from back in the day with Rick Sanchez. Oh God, it's there. I can't. San Pedro. There you go. It's all in there somewhere. It's in the file cabinet. You just gotta work it. It's there. JR was just on here bashing Wolf and Poupart. I called him out, and then he mentions non sequiturs and conspiracy theories. There you go. Beto San Pedro. Yeah, there you go. You got it. Big O, I just tuned in. What's news for coaching? Chris, rewind. Yes.
Dan Quinn is staying with the Cowboys.
Right. Dan Quinn got no offers. Staying with the Cowboys. That's what it is. There's your breaking news. Dan Quinn, I got no offers. Nobody wants me. I'm staying with the Cowboys. Fellas, Cameron, great conversation, and it takes only to be heard on the Big O Show. Great job from Eric and Rolling Tria, whatever, from Mesquite, Nevada. Okay, I don't know what that means, but good for them. Anybody that's from Mesquite, Nevada, you got to be cool, right? Doesn't like a place like Mesquite, Nevada feel like a place that you got to go eat some barbecue?
Mesquite barbecue. That's the first thing I thought about.
Right? That's right,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
I mean, well, that's
fat
you know,
guys. It's all right.
fat guys think about food. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's just that's who we are, man. Can't do anything about it. But that's exactly what I was thinking about. I'm going Mesquite. Well, I want to go. There's got to be some pretty good barbecue places there.
And another John Reed from Jacksonville. Sources confirmed Jaguars did interview Broncos coach Vic Fangio Monday, not necessarily for the head coach opening, but possibly as a defensive coordinator.
Oh, okay. So Leftwich,
the new head coach.
So Leftwich would be the OC, and then Fangio would be the DC. That's actually not bad. I like Fangio as a DC, not an OC. I saw plenty of that in Denver, and yeah, that wasn't a good thing. By the way, the Heat trounced the Knicks yesterday, 110-96. Miami is 31-17. Hey, Knicks fans, hey, at least they made the playoffs last year. You can live off of that. I mean, is there anything more annoying than the cocky Knicks fan that hasn't accomplished anything in life? Period. Right? The Knicks win a couple of games. They sneak into the playoffs last year, and you were probably listening to your Knicks friends in the offseason going, oh, yeah, we're going to challenge for the Eastern Conference. 23-26. They're on the outside looking in right now. And even if they get in and they sneak in, they're not doing anything whatsoever. But I will say this, it'll be fun because Miami is a top seed, and they'll be able to kick the Knicks' ass and just bounce them out. Hey, wasn't Julius Randle better than Chris Bosh? I thought, who was that said that in New York last year? Who said that? Who said that guy was going to be, that guy's better? I mean, that's just like, talk about prisoners of the moment, my man. I don't know who said it, but damn, that was bad. Duncan, by the way, it looks like Duncan might be getting out of that funk. 7 of 11 yesterday. He's on a little streak here. He's not out of it yet, but it seems like maybe there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And if Duncan is on, that is good. Tyler was on yesterday.
Brandon Tierney
said that. I know Brandon. I should get him on. I think he'll regret that one.
Oh, wait.
No?
Wait, hold on a minute.
Okay.
That was this legit question. At his absolute apex, was Chris Bosh ever better than peak Julius Randle? The answer is no.
Oh, God. Chris Bosh by himself was getting the Toronto Raptors at least in the playoffs. By himself.
Were there any Randle jerseys other than one Randle wore himself in the stadium? Because Ira was right. When you look at what they're still wearing, all the older Knicks. It's one of the newer players.
Well, because there's nothing. I mean, I was watching that game yesterday, and I was going, it's been over 20 years that this has been a rivalry. You know that, right? It's over. We have to go to the 90s. Right, when Pat was here. When the Knicks actually had what was left over from Pat. Because that's how they made it. They made with what was what Pat left over is what the Knicks had. I'm watching that game yesterday. It has not been a rivalry with the Knicks for over 23 years. Because rivalries mean that both sides win. You understand? And that hasn't been the case with Miami and the Knicks. They have mutilized them. Anyway, they got the Clippers on Friday at 8 o'clock at FTX Arena. The Panthers are in action tonight against the Golden Knights at 7 o'clock. And, we haven't announced officially the deal with the Vegas hotel. But when we do go, down the line, if the Knights and the Panthers are in the Cup, we might be flying to Vegas a little bit there to cover an event or two out there and cover that. I'm dying to go to a Knights game because the opening of a Knights game is awesome because it's Vegas. We'll do it. I guarantee you we'll do it. UM, by the way, half-court shot by Charlie Moore. over Vautech. That was funny. That was awesome.
They are atop the ACC right
I
now.
know. Good for them. And I mean, Coach L is awesome.
Yes.
He's so good.
And the fact, you know what? I
He's
think
so
the
good.
NBA helped him out
Why?
because you're taking the one and done guys that used to go to your
Oh,
Dukes
yes,
and all
great
them,
point.
and now they're going to the league to make the money, which now coaching is
Even,
really
even
going to
level
be,
playing field, and it's
evening
down to
out,
your
yeah.
coach, and
And
he's elite.
and it's really coming down to
Yes.
complete teams again.
Yes.
as well, not just having the 5, one and done players all on the
Yes.
floor at the same time.
Yeah, and he's got all that experience, and that is so important now in today's college basketball. He's so good. McGusty had 19. Charlie Moore hits that shot at the buzzer. That was good. It was good. Good for them. I mean, I as I've told you, I kind of look at college basketball now like a cutesy little sport. I don't look at it like I used to when Patrick Ewing was going up against, Alonzo Mourning. It's just, or Patrick Ewing going up against Cycli. I'm sorry. Alonzo Mourning replaced. No, it was Alonzo Dikembe, then Mourning, actually. So Mourning replaced Dikembe. But yeah, that's when college basketball is college basketball. This is kind of cutesy. This is kind of what I just don't look at it like anything special. You know what I mean? But I'm happy for the kids, and Coach L is he's just phenomenal, man. He just is. What else do we have going on Le Programme that I wanted to talk about? How about Mike Singletary? You see, Mike Singletary wants to coach the Bears. They got their guy now in Eberflus, right? But Singletary came out, and I'll read you the quote. And I kind of felt sorry for him in a way, and it's hard to feel sorry for Singletary because Singletary's a badass, bro. Singletary was one of the great linebackers of all time. All right. I mean, I can never disrespect Mike Singletary, the player. He was just so awesome. But as a head coach, he left a lot to be desired, and he wasn't really able. And listen, it's nothing new. You know how many great players have sucked as head coaches? He's just one of many. But Singletary, by the way, he says he's ready to take on his former organization, which we know it's too late already. They hired Ryan Poles as the general manager. So Singletary wants to be on that list. The Hall of Famer put in a call to Bears president Ted Phillips earlier in the offseason, a lobby for the head coaching job. And he says, you know why I'm calling? I'm ready to lead this team to a championship. And so there's a picture there they show of him holding the head coach, the trophy, the Vince Lombardi trophy. And he was the head coach for the Niners from 08 to 10 and working as a defensive assistant around the league. Obviously, he knows you can't win with these guys, was saying. That was his famous line. But it's almost like you had your shot, dude, and it didn't work out. You tried. And unfortunately, you got to be able to build a staff. You got to be able to communicate. You got to be able to reach certain players. And Mike Singletary, it just, I kind of felt sad for him in a way because he means well and he wants to do well, but he's not a head coach. And that's the reason why a lot of times with some of you Dolphin fans, I get frustrated with you when you want to make Marino the general manager. You know that? I get pissed. Why? Because it's probably not going to end well, and then you're going to end up killing the guy. Like John Elway, while he won a title there, John Elway gets killed because he can't find a quarterback. And that's why at times when you guys do this to Marino, and it's like, no, dude, no, he's not a general manager, doesn't want to be a general manager. Stop wanting to make him a general manager. And you're going to make him a general manager only to tear him back down again. Oh, yeah, he can play, but boy, he sucked. It's like Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan's the greatest player ever, but when it comes to being a general manager, it's a joke. You laugh at it. So I kind of felt bad for Singletary when I saw that. By the way, we got to thank Alan Poupart and Cameron Wolf for joining us here on the program as always. Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend. By the way, 5 o'clock today will start the weigh-ins. We'll be back here at 5 o'clock. And if you want to come on by to Hialeah Park and join us here, free to come on in. Second floor, Champion Simulcast Center. We're on the, south side of it, right? So come on over to the south side of the Champions Simulcast Center. We'll have the weigh-ins here. We'll be on at 5 o'clock. Hopefully we'll have some guests, maybe some boxers, maybe some trainers. You never know who's going to stop by to say hi. But I appreciate all of you, as always, for tuning in. Tomorrow on the program, Ira Winderman is set to join us on the show. What else will we have tomorrow? Ira, Manny, and Omar Kelly are going to join us tomorrow on the program. So we got a loaded show for you. We'll be coming to you live from Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines tomorrow. And then we'll be back here tomorrow night. Now, we're not going to be broadcasting because it's going to be too crazy. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be at the fights. We're going to be hanging out. Sean and I, we're going to be watching the fights. So those of you that come by, would love to meet you, man. So if you're coming by to the fights, come on by, man. We're going to be hanging out tomorrow, having some fun. All right? So there you go. Yes, sir.
A little Inter Miami news.
Oh, I love it. Let's go. Good.
Looks like they're finalizing a deal as early as tomorrow for DeAndre Yedlin, who is the U.S. men's national team.
That's the kid. Yeah, I read that they were in negotiations.
Yep.
I love the youth movement.
But it looks like they've lost McCoon.
Oh, that's not good. I like his development last year.
McCoon, unfortunately, was dispensed. This is reported by Alex Windley, who we can catch on the Big O Show. But it looks like apparently they traded up on the allocation list specifically to bring Yedlin to South Florida. McCoon, unfortunately, was dispensable because of this.
Okay. All right. So they must really like this kid. All right. I like it. I like it. All right. Excellent. We will see all of you later on. We'll be back here at 5 o'clock, rocking and rolling. I'll be over at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes at about 2:15. So if you happen to be in the area, come on by and say hi. All right. Anyway, and I'm going to have a chicken parm sandwich. All right. I'm going to have a chicken. You want some? You want me to bring you back some? Okay. But if not, call me and tell me, and I'll bring you some from Sports Grill. All right. Anyway, we will see you guys later on at 5 o'clock. We'll be back here. If there's any breaking news, Dolphins-wise, we will address it. We will also check out the weigh-ins. You never know what could happen. Maybe a little push and shoving. You never know. It gets a little testy sometimes with these weigh-ins. And remember, the weigh-ins are free. So they start at 5 o'clock here at Hialeah Park. Come to the second floor Champion Simulcast Center. On the north side of it is where everything is set up. We'll be here. Come on by and say hi. All right. We'll see you later. You all be good out there. Thank you all for supporting us.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show.